requirements.
All right.
They are now
How is that
floating.
different from what the Prime Minister is saying?
Hold on, Benjamin, can read the thing. So this is floating what?
Yeah?
A
A
bond
bond. Yeah.
worth 9 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum amount you can spend is $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
21 years
Mm-hmm.
to be determined by competitive bidding
Mm-hmm.
and will mature February 12, 2046.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I'm reading this now because I certainly won't be reading it then.
Yeah.
At 11.25.
Yeah. Good interest rate.
So me just buy that and put that
I
down.
forgot about it and say your grandchildren or your great grandchildren. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this 9 billion will go towards the budget.
Yeah. Do you want the financial secretary tell you?
Yeah.
Read it. Wait say to finance what?
The budgetary
Requirement.
requirements.
Right. How is that different from what the Prime Minister is telling you?
But him say we don't borrow.
Precisely.
But this is a borrow.
Precisely.
This is borrowing from the public.
Precisely.
You see, I am asking you to qualify this for me because I know when use all sort of language to bamboozle the people when it comes to economics and money and all them something. Could he be talking about something else when him say we don't borrow?
No, it's
like
just,
we don't borrow internationally, or we don't borrow from Ralston.
It's just plain line. Again, you know, the minister presented the budget last week. You should tell you we're gonna borrow 158 billion. 68 from foreign and 90 from Jamaica.
But that is borrowing.
Yes, that's the point I make. Every budget have a borrowing requirement.
But when the man send don't borrow to finance these
things. The man is lying. The man is just playing politics. That's the point.
Yeah, welcome. Call up some people. Call up everybody because this evening.
We never borrow some money.
Yes, sir. We have the strap ready this evening. Welcome, Jamaica. Beat and teach. Share the link. Share the link.
First of all, there's a
because
parliament,
this evening
you cannot lie to the parliament. Or be where you say no, I don't even think them use the word lie.
No, Eric Bell would say scurrilous in exact with you.
Yeah. In England, the brother did say, I think it was Jeffrey Hall.
Call up the people.
Or might have been Dennis Healy, who said you are being economical with the truth.
Well, all right.
Which is the greatest phrase I ever heard. Which means that you line up.
Yeah,
wara.
Yeah.
But you're being economical.
You know what to say most of the time when him say it, I want him there on the road.
Nobody cares, you know.
We're getting ready.
Right.
Call up the people. Send out the link, please, and thanks. Star Girl, send out the link. Thank you.
All right, but that's to finance the budget.
Yeah.
Not to deal with the shock of burial. That is a different money that come from the Prime Minister pocket.
But the price the price that continues to tell us that the government now borrow for finance its operations. We do nothing. Yeah. But before you present the budget, when you present the budget, you never get the amount of taxes where you want. So after 1.1 trillion in tax and revenues and them too, we have 158 billion in borrowing for the next budget.
Speaking of that,
government of China, government of Kuwait,
right?
All of them places, 68 billion from them and 90 billion in these kind of bonds from the local market.
But did I also hear the minister say that they are owed something like 139 billion in taxes, etc.? Did I hear? I don't know. Must be from business. I don't know. I'm sure I heard that. I'll look it up. But here's I need another qualification.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaf shall not wither, but whatsoever we do shall prosper. Hold on, man. Hold on there. Hold on the shaka fame. Hold on the shaka fame. Hold on there, because we are looking for something from morning and it just pop up on me. Just pop up. Hold on. I could send it. Go over that place, Make we send it over that place, because sometimes I wonder if my island home, Jamaica, is a real place. My people, may I beg you to share this link, Share up the link. Like up the channel. I could play this.
Welcome back to Primetime Sports Tuesday. There is the clearest indication yet that the newly relayed track at the National Stadium will only be recertified at level 2, moving down one level from the previous track. Keon Rainier continues to examine all aspects of the work being done on the track to include the actual cost.
With the jitters now out of the way in terms of the new stadium track being completed ahead of the March 24 deadline by track manufacturers Rakuten, the obvious question is whether it will remain at the Level 1 certification on the World Athletics system. TVJ Sports put that question to Grand Slam Tracks venue director Don Lockerbie in a one-on-one interview on Tuesday.
So that's a really tricky question because I didn't say it would be certified for 5 years. I said it would be warranted for 5 years. In other words, the surfacing should be able to maintain its strength, its speed, its color, and provide all the racers with a tremendous bounce. That's a critical part of what we wanted to provide. We worked with World Athletics on the certification of the track. Things have changed. And right now, for this facility to become certification for class 1 certification in the future, they're going to have to remove the bike track. They're going to have to add more in the way of long jump runways and things of that nature.
But what does that mean for the times achieved on this track?
And so right now, what we would say is that the lines are certified. In other words, if a record takes place here, we know that the engineering's been done and there will be a book of engineering submitted to World Athletics, and that they will then know that the track has met all of their standards for lane lines and the accuracy of the track. So that will be at the highest certification. Any record here will stand.
Lockerbie also confirmed that Grand Slam Track suggested that the track be relayed after having an independent assessment done on the 4-year-old track previously laid by BSW Reggae in 2021.
We came down with a certified lab from Georgia in the States, who came down and basically was the one who helped us understand what the situation was. And the situation wasn't very good. In fact, it didn't pass any current IAAF or World Athletics surfacing standards. Any other report that might say it was, I would have to say, well, we just didn't agree. And we didn't agree so much that we would pull out of Jamaica if we had to run on that blue track.
However, another independent assessment ordered by BSW Reggae by a company out of Thailand showed the opposite finding, that the track still met Level 1 certification up to July 2026. Sports Minister Olivia Grange had indicated that the cost to do the track was US $350,000, but Lockerbie revealed that Grand Slam Track also paid more than that amount towards the work.
I can confirm that we are responsible for the majority of the bill, and we're glad to do it as part of our long-term relationship and partnership with Jamaica, the sport of track and field and athletics in Jamaica, and this particular stadium. And, you know, with what we hear might be the future plans of it, this could very well be the finest track and field facility in the hemisphere.
According to TVJ Sports sources who requested anonymity, the cost to relay the track is well over $800,000. In the meantime, Lockerbie and IPL General Manager Major Desmond Brown confirmed that Boys and Girls Championships will be the first meet on the track, not the Velocity Fest meet, which is set for March 22, as was announced by Bruce James on Monday. Keon Rainier reporting for TVJ Sports.
What are we hearing? What are we hearing, peeps? Greetings, everybody. Greetings. I don't understand what we just heard. Absolutely don't understand it. Don't understand it at all. So they relayed the track. When the track was relayed, the track was a grade 1 track. Them do over the track. And now the track is a grade 2 track. I don't understand it. Simply don't understand what is happening. I don't know if nothing can go so. I don't know if nothing can go so at all. So, we'll try to get some information from there. And we're talking about the track at the National Stadium. This is up and down. I want to play about this. I'll play it back. I'll play it back.
Welcome back to Primetime Sports Tuesday. There is the clearest indication yet that the newly relayed track at the National Stadium will only be recertified at level 2, moving down 1 level from the previous track. Keon Rainier continues to examine all aspects of the work being done on the track to include the actual cost.
With the jitters now out of the way in terms of the new stadium track being completed ahead of the March 24 deadline by track manufacturers Rakuten, the obvious question is whether it will remain at the level 1 certification on the World Athletics system. TVJ Sports put that question to Grand Slam Tracks venue director Don Lockerbie in a one-on-one interview on Tuesday.
So that's a really tricky question because I didn't say it would be certified for 5 years. I said it would be warranted for 5 years. In other words, the surfacing should be able to maintain its strength, its speed, its color, and provide all the racers with a tremendous bounce. That's a critical part of what we wanted to provide. We worked with World Athletics on the certification of the track. Things have changed. And right now, for this facility to become certification for class 1 certification in the future, they're going to have to remove the bike track. They're going to have to add more in the way of long jump runways and things of that nature.
But what does that mean for the times achieved on this track?
And so right now, what we would say is that the lines are certified. In other words, if a record takes place here, we know that the engineering's been done and there will be a book of engineering submitted to World Athletics, and that they will then know that the track has met all of their standards for lane lines and the accuracy of the track. So that will be at the highest certification. Any record here will stand.
Lockerbie also confirmed that Grand Slam Track suggested that the track be relayed after having an independent assessment done on the 4-year-old track previously laid by BSW Reggae in 2021.
We came down with a certified lab from Georgia in the States, who came down and basically was the one who helped us understand what the situation was. And the situation wasn't very good. In fact, it didn't pass any current IAAF or World Athletics surfacing standards. Any other report that might say it was, I would have to say, well, we just didn't agree. And we didn't agree so much that we would pull out of Jamaica if we had to run on that blue track.
However, another independent assessment ordered by BSW Reggae by a company out of Thailand showed the opposite finding, that the track still met level 1 certification up to July 2026. Sports Minister Olivia Grange had indicated that the cost to do the track was US $350,000, but Lockerbie revealed that Grand Slam track also paid more than that amount towards the work.
I can confirm that we are responsible for the majority of the bill, and we're glad to do it as part of our long-term relationship and partnership with Jamaica, the sport of track and field and athletics in Jamaica, and this particular stadium. And, you know, with what we hear might be the future plans of it, this could very well be the finest track and field facility in the hemisphere.
According to TVJ Sports sources who requested anonymity, the cost to relay the track is well over $800,000. In the meantime, Lockerbie and IPL General Manager Major Desmond Brown confirmed that Boys and Girls Championships will be the first meet on the track, not the Velocity Fest meet, which is set for March 22, as was announced by Bruce James on Monday. Keon Reina reporting for TVJ Sports.
So there you have it. Issues with the track at the National Stadium. I am certainly not pleased because I was of the opinion that all of this could have wait. Spray the track. If the track is certified at level 1 until next year, what is the rush? What was the rush with the stadium track? Was it because it's an election year? What's the rush with Fort Rocky? You all had 9 years to deal with these things. Oh, no, deal with it. And now it is this mad dash. Everything is in this mad dash. What can go so? Good evening and welcome to everybody on the YouTube channel, Portland Spice TV. Good evening and welcome. We start early because if I remember about the time change in the United States, and hence we weren't on Caribbean radio yesterday. So, yeah, we have to reset our time in Jamaica now to be on Caribbean radio at the regular 5 o'clock. Yeah, man. So when we came on yesterday, yeah. So this evening we have a big show lineup for the item. We're going to be talking to Ralston Iman in a little while, in a short while. We're going to shout up Ralston. And we're going to talk about the budget presentation from yesterday. Whole heap of giveaways. Some that was mentioned by some other people before. But my problem with the budget presentation, I did not hear anything for growth. The Jamaican economy needs growth. Let me say something. Yeah. The Jamaican economy needs growth. And right now, me not see the growth. Me not see nothing in the budget that shows say we're going to grow the budget. Carlton Samuels, good afternoon. Andrea Burke. Wagwan King.
Yeah, Wagwan, the General Shaka.
Me there, you know. Me there.
Yeah, me hear you say you're going to get in the budget from yesterday.
Yes.
And you're going to ask Ralston. So I want you ask Ralston this to me, because I don't want to call you and disturb you. Ask Ralston how the Jamaican people are going to benefit from the light bill reduction when the light is plugged to the US dollar.
Yeah. But
next question more.
Go ahead.
No,
man, you go. You talk.
Yeah. The next question I want to ask Ralston is that them set aside $1 billion to prepaid customers. Ask Ralston if it wouldn't have been better if them used that $1 billion to either build a factory or to either get solar energy installed somewhere. You could have installed it in a couple schools and you just make a solar park and you use that park to feed some people and sell back the rest to JPS. My last question is, why you ask Ralston, me see last year them buy 50,000 black tank. Them give out 10,000 last year. Them are going to give out 10,000 this year. So 30,000 left. Plus them allocate money for truck water. Someone had to ask Ralston if it wouldn't better if them just run some pipe quick and fast and benefit the people them so the people them now be dependent. The people them can be independent. Those are my questions, sir.
Those are your questions for Ralston Iman. All right.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
All right, thank you.
Welcome, Caribbean Radio HD. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, brother
Hey,
Gary.
Shaka, one more question, Shaka. Can we just remember?
Go on now.
Okay. You see the person who them appoint at the Integrity Commission? Why you ask the crowd? That was the same lady who was appointed in 2017 when FSC overall everything that the PNP do and unleash SSL upon the people. Someone to ask
Hold on.
if that lady.
You sure it's the same lady? I don't think so. The lady that them appoint to the Integrity Commission, it's a former judge, you know.
Yes. Unless they made mistake, but the same lady that was appointed the other day, she was part of the FSC, so she probably, unless the paper when they get it was wrong, but I know they appointed that lady who was on the FSC to some government.
I doubt it. I think you're wrong. I doubt it.
Okay.
We can double check it, but I
boss.
think you're wrong.
All right, my boss.
All right, brother.
All right.
Blessings. Yeah,
All
man.
right, cool.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Caribbean HD, right across the world. Yeah, man. The Colin Bell show is on. I must apologize for yesterday evening and apologize for the late start this evening as well. But hey, we're getting together. Caribbean Radio HD. Bro, Gary, big up yourself. All right. So, earlier this evening, yesterday, in fact, last night news break that the track at the National Stadium will be downgraded to a level 2 track from a level 1. We're trying to find out what does that mean, what the difference is, but we are a bit disturbed because just a month ago, the present track that was there that they refurbished was a level 1 track, a grade 1. Now we have a grade 2 track. Jamaica is the powerhouse of sprinting in the world. Only the United States can talk to Jamaica when it comes to sprinting. No other country on this planet can speak to us. So therefore, it is unacceptable for Jamaica to have a level 2 track. Now, as I say, what this mean? We need to get all the details of what the level 2 track mean. We're going to work on that. But we're also going to be talking to Mr. Raymond Anderson later on this evening in the show. After the 6 o'clock segment on Caribbean Radio. And we're going to talk to Raymond Grant. That's 5 o'clock Jamaica time. But the thing now is to reach out to Ralston Iman, because we're going to bring on Ralston early. So I'm going to call all of the people, the numbers man, the teacher, the top economic analyst in Jamaica is going to be on the show. Get yourself ready. Call up some people. Yeah, man. I make them understand that class start early. Send out the link for me, everybody. Send out the link. Send out the link. Hello, good evening.
Evening.
How are you this evening?
I am good, Colin.
Yeah.
I I am calling to remind you to enumerate.
All right, no problem. We'll do that. Thanks for calling.
Please, please.
Yes, man,
Every
we
now
will.
and again, just insert it, okay?
All
As
right.
a reminder.
All right. All right. We'll remember to, if you have not numerated yet, you need to participate in the voting system in your country. So we are reminding you to go out and numerate. Yeah, man. I could get Ralston Iman on the line. Because this evening, all right, hold the line for me, Raleigh. This evening, we are going to look into the budget presentation. Raleigh, good evening.
Yeah, man. Good evening.
Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD across the world, Portland Spice TV. Ralston, yesterday, the first female or the first woman finance minister made her maiden presentation in the parliament. The budget, the expenditure and income for 2025-2026. What are your analysis of the presentation?
Well, the presentation was very lackluster. It left out a whole lot of the things that are extremely important in the world today. It gave the impression that Jamaica is a disconnected underground tunnel in the international economy. And it was also filled with misrepresentation in terms of Jamaica's economic history. And then she gave away some crumbs in terms of the raising the income tax threshold to 2 million in 3 years' time, the situation at the housing trust, the reduction of dividend on tax on non-residents and those things. That cost about 9.1 billion. There was no comprehensive growth strategy.
So she gave away $9.1 billion in goodies.
Yeah, man.
And that include the $1 billion for first-time connection to the GPS using the post-paid.
Man.
That include the increasing of the tax threshold.
Yeah, man.
That include money for... Ralston, she mentioned that $20,000. You remember the Prime Minister promised $20,000 to people who are not in the tax net at the conference? She said that is in the budget. But did she say how much that is going to cost?
No. So where we see the general consumption tax for lifting the threshold for MSMEs to 15 million, that will cost 1.37 billion. Reform of the general consumption tax on electricity, 2.99 billion. Increasing the personal income tax threshold, 4.8 billion. Reduction of the dividend income, that was called some $8 million. So the whole total is 9.176 billion.
Now, are we in a position to do that, Ralston?
Well, that's only 0.2% of GDP. So it means that rather than balance the budget, they are going to run a deficit.
They are saying that is the first time they're running a deficit for when? For 9 years?
No, that's not true. Remember, they got a balanced budget from Peter Phillips.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, man.
No, Raleigh, the country is in a recession, even though they don't want to admit it.
Yeah, man.
I listen to them talk, and now they are saying technically we are in a technical recession. What that? Something goes so?
A recession is a recession.
So there's no technicality about it.
No, recession is a recession. Yeah.
All right. So you said the budget missed a lot of things yesterday. Tell us what it missed.
Well, if I were presenting the budget, I don't know what she and the speaker is, but it's clear that the relationship between she and the speaker is not a very good one.
That is our next thing. That is our next part of the problem, you know.
Yeah, man.
She and the speaker tell her to drink some water. I mean, I hear you.
Yeah, man.
What can go so?
In a very disdainful way, and this is not the first time. Remember, there was a time with Mark Golding.
Right, she and Mark Golding was discussing the bill, issues with the bill, and the speaker rough her up.
Yeah, man. So the speaker is making it out very visible that she has very little respect for the minister. I don't know what them have personally, but the speaker is transmitting that to the public, not looking good.
No, not at all.
I'd have started the presentation by saying that, Madam Speaker, this presentation is being made within the context of what is happening internationally, because Jamaica is a small open economy, 25 billion, operating within the context of a larger international economy, 105 trillion, dominated by the Republic of the United States of America with $29 trillion, the EU with $19 trillion, China with $18 trillion, Germany with $5 trillion, Canada with $2.5 trillion. What we're seeing, Madam Speaker, is that the policy is being pursued by the President of the Republic of the United States of America is creating a great deal of uncertainty, and we're seeing tariffs being imposed left, right, and center, which makes the international environment very volatile. We saw the global stock market, US markets down by 4 trillion. All the international stock markets are down, and investors are very skittish about the future. We also see that inflation is accelerating, and the Federal Reserve Board, the American Central Bank, is now saying that it is going to keep interest rates at the current level indefinitely until they can assess the inflationary impact of the policies being pursued by President Trump.
Right.
We're seeing all measures of U.S. inflation accelerating, and the USA is Jamaica's major trading partner. 70% of our tourists come from the U.S., 67% of our remittances come from the U.S.
Yes.
40% of our exports go to the U.S., 50% of our imports go to the U.S., and the U.S. economy is slowing down. Those things are going to have an impact on the Jamaican economy. As a result of that, Madam Speaker, we'll be developing some policies to mitigate the impact while taking advantage of some of the opportunities that will flow from that. That is how she should have started.
And nothing close to that. She never mentioned anything about what is happening in the US, did she?
No. It's like Jamaica is a tunnel underground.
So they told us
presentation is that.
They told us in 2008 that the global recession would not affect us. So maybe they don't think it's going to affect us.
It's the same approach. It's the same approach. And like, again, something that she misrepresented. So I'm glad they mentioned 2008.
Yes.
It is because of their mismanagement of the 2008 recession, including not only say it wouldn't affect Jamaica, but when it started to affect Jamaica, they claimed that going to the IMF was neither necessary nor appropriate. So they took 2 years after the recession to go to the IMF. And when they went to the IMF, they fired the only man in the team that had any experience with the IMF, Central Bank Governor Derek Latibodiere. So when you hear PJ Patterson says that Omar Davies 12 consecutive days, that was Omar Davies' team. Omar Davies, Derek Latibodiere, and Shirley Tyndall as Financial Secretary. That is the first time since February 21, 1963, when Jamaica first borrowed from the IMF, that Jamaica had ever successfully navigated an entire IMF program.
Hold on, and when did we start borrowing from the IMF?
When did we start?
Yeah.
February 21st, 1963, 10 million SDRs on a Sir Donald Sankster.
So that means for the entire 80s under Eddie Siaga, were we borrowing from the IMF at that time?
Yeah, man, we never successfully completed our program. Never.
So the first time in the history of Jamaica that we successfully completed an IMF program was under Dr. Omar Davies
and PJ Patterson.
But them say PJ Patterson heaped the most debt on Jamaican. But we could leave that. We could go to that at a different time, because what we are talking about now is really the pickle that Jamaica is in that is not being admitted by this present administration. Ralston, I just wrote down the minister continued to quote from 2013. Why? Why should don't quote from 2015 or 16?
That's the point I'm making, and that is why I was telling you about the Great Recession, because that was the period 2007 to 2012. As I said, they misrepresented the recession, mismanaged the recession, then went to the IMF and took the wrong agreement, a 27-month standby agreement. They fired Central Bank Governor Derek Latibodiere in November of 2009 while they were negotiating with the IMF. They never got an agreement until February of 2010. And as I said before, they took the wrong agreement. The IMF, IDB, World Bank gave them $2.4 billion upfront, and they only took one test, never finished taking all of the tests, and abandoned the program. And that is when the reserves dropped to $1 billion, the debt to GDP jumped to 147, which she also misrepresented and said it was 135.
Right.
Yeah?
But hold on. She said it was 135 in 2013. So did it start come down from 2013?
No, in 2013 it was 147. We never got an agreement until May of 2013. She wasn't there. I was there, so I can tell you.
Right. So she misled the parliament again yesterday.
Misrepresented that deliberately, yes.
No, Ralston, she went back. And anybody who was thinking about it could see that something was wrong. Because yes, 2013, it was the PNP that was running the government. But the PNP run the government up until 2015, early 2016, February 2016.
Until February of 2016.
Right. And she never quoted from 2015 because at that time, the thing was coming down.
Yeah, man.
Way down. No,
and she couldn't quote from 2015 because if you can Google up, just Google up Ralston and Favour Williams, you'd see all the discussion that we had about Petrocarib because she fought against Petrocarib, which was the first big move to bring the debt to GDP ratio down by about 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, how are we going to move forward? They are projecting 1% growth for this year. What significant 1% growth?
Let me explain something to you. Because a lot of the analysts know we have what we call nominal GDP and real GDP.
Yes.
Nominal GDP is programmed at $3.48 trillion. So we measure economic growth by real GDP. So 1% GDP growth is $7.9 billion. That can't do.
$7.9 billion. So she's giving away more than that because she's giving away $9 billion.
Precisely.
So she's giving away more than the growth that we are projecting.
That is why they'll be running a deficit rather than a balanced budget. So, and if you are going to be running a deficit, you must be running a deficit with high powered expenditure. That means it must be on a capital budget where you have a high multiplier effect. Not for consumption things that she's giving away, you know.
She said the capital budget is about 104 billion.
That 163 billion, she said. Central government capital budget is 62.5, but the select group of public sector entities, we'll talk about JUTC, UDC, yeah?
Yeah.
Those entities, they have a capital budget of just over $100 billion.
So really and truly, $60 billion is what the government is going to spend on infrastructure.
Yeah. Right. That she's in charge of.
And you're saying that is weak, that can't grow the economy?
That's weak. That's only 2.5% of GDP and 4.7% of the budget. And more than 50% of that is locked up in the bottleneck that we call the Office of the Prime Minister.
So why is it that some people are saying it was a good budget? Tell me, why?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask them. You say the leader of the team, the top economist, Adrian Stokes, say it's a good budget. But all he did was to focus on the fiscal side. He never focused anything on economic growth and things that would help the people of Jamaica to improve their standard of living.
Mm-hmm. Well, I said to somebody today, I didn't hear anything in the budget that tells me that Jamaica is going to grow. We're going to make more
and that
money.
is why in their own figures they only put down 1%, which is very anemic and statistically insignificant because that has nothing in there for external shocks because she never said anything about the external environment.
Julian Robinson speaks tomorrow. Mm-hmm. What should he come with, Ralston Iman?
One must come with a growth strategy. So it must say, Madam Speaker, we're outlining our credentials insofar as fiscal prudence is concerned because we started this thing in 2007, 2013. When we took over, the debt to GDP was 147%. The fiscal deficit was 6.5%. The overall public sector deficit was 7.75%. The current account deficit was 12% of GDP. So these people can't tell us about fiscal discipline. We're committed to fiscal discipline as an anchor. But, Madam Speaker, we're creating a growth strategy because we have to grow our way out of this problem. 1% is not enough. And that is why we'll be focusing on fixing the procurement process so that we can fully spend the capital budget. We'll be investing more in agriculture. We'll be dealing with energy. We'll be dealing with the creative industries. We'll be dealing with logistics. All of those things. We'll be diversifying our trading partners. Those kinds of things we expect to hear.
But why the minister never carried nothing like that yesterday?
Mister, I don't think the minister has any understanding of international and macroeconomics. The minister is just a financial analyst, so it was a kind of accountant's budget.
But they said that they are doing well with the economy and they have been prudent and the economy is in good health.
But the economy is in a recession and they are telling us that they are going to move from recession to stagnation. 1% per annum over the next 5 years represents stagnation.
Right, because continued stability of a 1% is stagnation, isn't it?
Yeah, man, stagnation. So I move from recession to stagnation. That is not good enough. We have to move from recession to growth.
You mentioned the recession rally that we are in right now. What are the predictions for this first quarter? Is it likely that we are going to be out? Will we grow in this first quarter?
Well, they say between 0 and 0.1, which is the same thing. Nothing that is statistically insignificant.
Hold on. 0 and 0.1. Now, people, I'm not maths brain, but I can tell you, you have to go to 0.9. You have to pass 0.9 before you come to 1%.
Yeah, man.
So when you start at 0.1, you cannot, in any good sense, tell me that is growth.
Nobody likes now going to improve. It's upon the same level. You bounce at the bottom same way.
But if you decline by 1.8%, 3.5% overall, the economy for the year declined by what? 1%? Of a 1% decline, and you are telling me that you are going to grow 0.1%? No,
that don't make no sense.
You're at the same place.
Insignificant. Yeah, man.
You can't see that. You can't count that.
No, man.
So, we hear them, Ralston, saying that they are going to give, for the first 20,000 people to connect to the GPS postpaid, they're giving them $4,000 for 6 months to help pay their bill. Wasn't that what Damian Crawford suggested in 2020 and they say it couldn't work?
Yeah, man. That was a Damian Crawford original and their apology said it was reckless and it couldn't work. Yeah,
well, let me ask you something. This is the question I want to ask you. Wasn't the economy in a better position then than what it is in now?
Of course.
So, how you couldn't do it then, but you can do it now?
That's the question must be asked. And if you notice, none of the propagandists who claim to be analysts, they have not been asking those questions. They are on the same thing, telling the people how great they are and how great they are.
But, Ralston, if we continue this way, continue to deny where the Jamaican economy is and not do nothing to fix it, what is going to happen to us?
It is that denial that causes us to be where we are now. So if we continue on this denial, we'll be further down the road, will be worse than where we are now, because this denial has been contained for a long time. And that is why we end up in a recession, and now that they are denying the recession, if they continue on the same trajectory and without factoring denying what is happening in the international environment, we'll end up in a depression.
Should Julian Robinson remind them tomorrow of what happened 2008, of the statements that were made by the then finance minister, Minister of Tourism, and Arbin Hill and those people?
He must, because he tried to rewrite the history. He must. And for once and for all, that record must be set straight. Yeah, he must. It would be a dereliction of duty if he refused to do that.
The opposition leader speaks on Tuesday. What should his tone be?
Again, reinforcing what Julian is saying. So things like growth strategy, corruption, the international environment. He must focus on those things.
Should he pick up from where he left off?
The Jamaican people needs growth now. We can't deal with stability. You can't stabilize yourself in a recession. It's like a hospital bed. I say, I stay stable in my hospital bed. I not take no more medicine.
You're not trying to improve to come out.
Till me dead. Yeah.
Should he picked up where he left off last year? Because last year they walked out of the parliament when he started dealing with transparency, accountability, and integrity.
Yeah, man, they must do those issues. Corruption, the Integrity Commission, transparency, accountability. They must do all of that. growth strategy, international environment. You have to do all of that. Yeah, man.
Before you go, Ralston, for those who don't believe that the country is in a recession, and for those who want to listen to the narrative, Ralston, Jamaica, we as a country have now reached a stage, and I don't know if we have ever reached the stage yet, that we are now spending more to import food than all that we are exporting.
Never before.
Tell us about
Never
that.
before. So we'd have to spend over 100 million more to pay the food bill from our total exports.
So at least before now, all that we export put together could have buy food.
Yes, that is why the minister should have said, Madam Speaker, and it is therefore against this background and the problems in our trading partner, which is responsible for all of these things, the reduction in remittance flows, the potential impact for these flows to continue to go down, the problems with tourism flows. That is why we see this problem, Madam Speaker, where the food bill being higher than our total exports means that there's an emergency, and that is why we're focusing on the export sector. And we know, Madam Speaker, that energy is a big problem for the export sector. And this is why we're going to do this about energy. This is why we're going to do this about exports. That's the problem. Those are things that we should have heard from her. So she's totally out of sync with what is happening in the broader economy.
Listen this, Jamaica. Listen this to people in the diaspora. For the first time in our history, the money that we earn from export cannot buy the food that we are importing into Jamaica. Julian Robinson must speak to that tomorrow.
Must. It would be irresponsible, and that's why I'm saying the minister was irresponsible not to have spoken to that. The food and consumer goods import bill was $1.6397 billion for the first 10 months of last year, and our total merchandise exports were only $1.51 billion.
Couldn't buy the food. And not
Right.
to mention no oil.
Yeah, man, the oil bill. That is why I'm saying that if the minister was really serious, he'd have focused on food and energy and stop all up nonsense about misrepresenting. The oil bill was $1.61 billion.
So the oil bill, we couldn't buy the oil either with our export money.
No.
We needed more.
Right. So two of the most important things that we need, food and energy, our exports can't pay for them. So
can't pay for one. What do you mean can't pay for
that's
them?
The point I'm making.
Or you gonna at them when you can't pay for one?
You're right. So that outlines our dependency, and the money that we used to pay for those things, the remittances are shrinking. So the minister should have seen that as an emergency.
And you expect that to shrink more, don't you?
Yeah, man. And the foolish analysts who are bigging her up, they're not looking at the big picture. They're only looking at the fiscal accounts. It's one side of the equation they are looking at.
Ralston Iman.
So we say the Gleaner saying Adrian Stokes top economy. So how can a top economist be only focused on fiscal deficit? What happened to the broader economy? That's not a top economist.
So they're not balancing. They're not balancing people's lives.
That's what I tell you. That's all like an accountant. That's not economics.
What's the ministry? Isn't the ministry of Finance and Planning?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the name of the ministry?
Of course.
So we are the plans.
It seems now to be only the Ministry of Finance and Accounting.
Because there's no plans coming out there.
There's no plan, yeah.
Nothing.
There's no plan.
And I said to somebody this evening, how can you call me and tell me about the budget was good? What good about the budget? Where is the growth for the country of Jamaica? How is it our people going to earn more? You're telling me about low unemployment. Low unemployment, but where's the spending power?
Exactly, because you can't have spending power if you are not productive, if you are not doing value-added work. You can't have the spending power. So if you're not upskilled, then you have to get cheap wages. And cheap wages can't give the aggregate demand that is necessary to move the economy. And the minister never said anything about upskilling the country's labor force. Yeah?
My brother, we talk again. Thank you.
All right, blessings. Yeah,
One love.
Yep.
Top economic analyst in Jamaica, Ralston Iman. Sister Tanya Brother David, big up yourself. Melrose, good evening. Good evening, everyone on Caribbean Radio HD. We open the phone lines now. We take some calls. And then we're going to talk to Raymond and this and a little more from this. We asked the question yesterday, what's the biggest event for Jamaica? What's the largest thing to happen for Jamaica on the global stage over the last 45 years? Mr. Bell, you never invite a member from the GLP to speak on the issues. When I invite them, they don't want to come. I invite Marlon Morgan, he will come. But the rest of them don't want to come. But Sister Melrose, we open the phone lines, 305, we have that number. That's the Caribbean Radio number. We have other numbers that we take all the calls. So anybody who supports the GLP and wants to call the program, we welcome every call. Yeah, man. So we might never bring on a GLP guest yet, but we're hoping to bring them on. I would have loved to interview the Prime Minister. I would have given anything to interview Favour Williams here now. Yeah? But them label me. And because them label me, it is hard to get them on the show. So we get the people who are willing to talk to us. And we talk to them. And those who want to call, we invite you to call. 876-804-7072. And look like I put something somewhere else. Not finding all of my documents them in front of me right now. Yeah. But we don't have a problem talking to people from the GLP. We actually want to talk to them. The biggest event to happen for Jamaica over the last 45 years. What event is that? 804-7072. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yes, boss. Go on.
Yeah, man. Talk up in the phone, man.
Good evening.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, invite your friend, the killer.
Who that?
The killer.
Who you call the killer?
No, at your place, man.
What you mean? The MP?
Yeah.
Enough time me interview him,
Really? Okay.
Years ago, when we used to be on Satcom, used to have a program called Hard Topic. A whole heap of time him come on, man. A whole heap of time. I still have all some tape with him. Some of them when me going to release one of them there, yeah.
So like I mean the hot water at seat and I have to give him a try again.
All right. We can bounce off of him. Because them no say, them saw an interview last night. Them talk about SSL and who have account at SSL. I don't know if you see it.
Yes. We just see that come call about it to say if you know hear about it and what you heard about it too.
Yeah, man, me hear about
it.
No, but hear me now. Me's not a blogger, me's a journalist.
Okay.
Me's a broadcaster. Now, sometimes some things pitch out. Me not just jump on them, so me have to do my research and know say some things legitimate. Me not question what next man do, but me just now go grab it until me feel it in myself say, yeah, this a good information for put out there. You understand? And then when somebody premieres some things too, me's a man will like allow them to get the benefit from it. Because if you do your work, me believe that you must get the views and the likes for it. So, me I watch and me I listen. Because remember, me was the first man who said to people, who is Jean and Pantan's spouse or boyfriend? And me first ask a question there, you know. One of my brethren a foreign call me and say, yo, Ray, but we come different. We ask a question. Because we still not telling you who are Gene and Pantan boyfriend is, you know. Gene and Pantan boyfriend are our man in a Jamaican terms. Used to manage SSL, you know. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I know Gene and Pantan alone.
Can't be alone, man.
You understand me, Marcia Morgan? Gene and Pantan used to deal with one of the top manager at SSL. But we just take time. We are watch where I go on.
Yeah, well, if I hope I can have a warm up last night still.
Yes, well, make we see if the
Just,
worm them all drop out.
you know, sound good.
Not at all. But we know a
I
long
see.
time, you know, that the GLP have a whole heap of things to hide as it relates to SSL. Last week, Tuesday, we brought on Dr. Peter Phillips, who told us that when the FSC submit their report to him, they put restrictions on SSL all in. SSL couldn't take on a new business when the PNP was in power. And when the PNP leave, the GLP start relax the measures. And in 2017, the GLP lift all restriction and fly the gate and Lego SSL for run riot. Why was that done? I'd asked the question here before. When did the Prime Minister made his investment in SSL, that money they will him get back, the 100,000 US, and when him did put in money, forget out that. Yeah.
Your killer friend there the last time in name Colin jump up fast. Now you know you are going it. Now jump on that one, yeah.
Well, make we see now, make we listen out for you, my brother. Big up yourself.
All right, brother.
All right, country. 804-7072. Number to call. 305-654-7944. If you're in the United States. 305-654-7944. At 5 minutes to 6 o'clock, we take a break on Caribbean Radio HD. And when you come back with day here, yeah, man, Mr. Pang out of Barrydale, big up yourself. Yeah, man, what that? Megawatt, volt. Big up yourself, Ivan. Big up yourself. Yes, man. So, when we look at the budget yesterday, that budget is a sinking ship budget. Sinking ship. We have to start recognize, and right here we do it. We will try our best to educate people to look at the economy and understand what it means. When we talk a while ago, say, for the first time, we export can't buy our food. We have always been behind on export. So we need to export for pay all our bills. Because as a country, where you don't look on is that the country that produce for feed ourselves, sell some things to external outside countries, earn some money, and that would be earning enough foreign exchange. We have not been doing that. Last year, the Bank of Jamaica spent $1.1 billion to stabilize the Jamaican dollar. Why the Bank of Jamaica had to be doing that is because we're not earning foreign exchange. So anybody who want to call and speak, yes, Melrose, thank you. 350-654-7944. Or you can call me on WhatsApp at 876-804-7072. Or you can call me straight on that same number. So when you exporting, it is so small that not even the food it can't pay for. So we know as a country, have to be borrowing. So you hear the government talking about the debt to GDP going down to 60%. We are at 68% now. But what is the benefit from that? The benefit from that is that we can get money for borrow. Yeah? But how is it you are going to borrow to pay the debt? Just look at your own life. You working and you're going to work every day. You have your mortgage, you have the car loan, you have utility bills. So mortgage, car loan, utility bills. Food for the children. Yeah? And then you're going to have to buy clothes. So we'll stop at them 5 things there. Mortgage, car loan, utility bill, food, and clothes. Now, you are working. All of them there add up to, let's say, $100,000 a month. You need to cover them there. But the job you have, you're working $75,000 a month. Mortgage have to pay. The car note have to pay. Food have to eat. And then utilities have to pay. Now 5 is closed. So right away you don't have to buy clothes every month, so you start cut that. But without the clothes, your bill is still $95,000. And you are still only earning $75,000. I'm going to show you a different scenario with Jamaica actually in. You have all of these things to pay, and your food bill is, let's say your food bill is $30,000 a month. And you only earn $25,000. So your mortgage can't pay. Car note can't pay. Because food are the first thing, you know. If you're not eating no food, you're dead. But you're not working enough money to pay your food bill. I can put it the next way for you. For those of you that are foreign, we have plenty jobs. You have mortgage, car note, food, utility bills, and clothes. 5 things. I didn't put in transportation in it. I would have take out the clothes and put transportation. Or add transportation. So you have them 5 things that you pay, but you have 3 jobs. Your 3 jobs total for the month come up to $100,000. But all of your bills them come up to $120,000. So you say you have 1 job to cover each thing. But none of your job then can cover your food bill alone. That is the kind of trouble that Jamaica is in right now. Not tomorrow. Not next year. But that's the problem that Jamaica is in right now. The monies that we are earning is not enough to cover all our needs. And we saw the government yesterday give away $9 billion. More money than what them said the country are going to grow by. Now you tell me, all of us said the budget yesterday was brilliant. You tell me how that worked. The government gave away more money than the expected growth that they plan to grow. The government gave away $9.8 billion. And they say that they are expecting growth of 1% for the year 2025-26. 1% is equal to 7.8 billion. But they gave away 9 billion. Talk to me. Because them say, them know where I'm going. Me say, them don't know what is going on. We have to hope and pray now that tomorrow at 2 p.m., Julian Robinson, the opposition spokesman on finance and planning, come with a budget proposal that have growth in it. There must be specific areas of growth. Because if that not happen tomorrow, dog name will suffer. Jamaica can grow. There are a lot of things that we can do to grow this economy. Whole heap of things. And therefore, we must get ready for this growth. Welcome back to the listeners on Caribbean Radio HD. Welcome back to the Colin Bell Show. We're talking about the Jamaican economy. We're talking about the budget that was presented by Honorable Favour Williams yesterday. And Ralston mentioned it a while ago. Where Favour and Juliet Holness have something not right. Something not right between Darrell Vaz and Morgan either. Warmington and Morgan, Warmington and Vaz. We've seen a whole heap of public display of dissent amongst the Labourites. Whole heap. We saw the Speaker of the House cut off the mic on Darrell Vaz. We saw that the other day. Darrell Vaz attack and the Speaker cut off the mic. Where near Uri Clark, the Deputy Speaker that is. Not the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker. And then after that we saw Morgan, where name? Robert Morgan. Basically now pay Darrell no mind, that's Darrell have to call him and say, Minister, I realize you don't hear a thing that I say, you know. I hope you give me the respect and listen to me. And then Warmington school Darrell Vaz in parliamentary procedures, all in the public. Juliet Holness had a problem with the Minister of Finance and Mark Golding talking and went after the Minister of Finance. Then we saw Juliet yesterday telling the Minister of Finance, I'm not hearing you, drink some water. What about the cutting of the GCT taxes on food? Me never hear no cutting on GCT on food. Tanya, I would have tire. Me never hear no cutting of GCT on food. Cutting of GC. What about the cutting of GCT taxes on foods that Jamaicans eat a proper diet? Who's importing cars? Not the poor. Well, attire. Me never hear about no cut GCT on food. Me hear it on electricity bill. I cut it by 7%. But a lot of people, a lot of poor people, not paying that already. Now, the thing about the bond for the cars, that not going to affect no regular Jamaicans. That affect Adam Stewart and the one them will own Stewart's Auto. People who own them big car place there. And them are going to spend less money up front. Not poor people. Poor people now get none of them the ease there. You understand me? So that budget and those announcements are not for poor people. No. Not for you, not for me. It's not going to make car price cheaper either. It's not going to make car part cheaper. Or cars cheaper. So, I am concerned, very concerned, about what was presented yesterday in the budget. For the people on Caribbean Radio, I want to go back over something that I touched on yesterday. See a youth come out and put out some murder figures and say that the most murders in Jamaica was committed under former Prime Minister, the most Honorable P.J. Patterson. And he called out the years, and he said for the entire time that P.J. Patterson was Prime Minister, 13,710 people were murdered during the time that PJ Patterson was Prime Minister. 13,710. Now, no know me rate PJ. So when me see that, me vex. And me go do some research. And the research that I have done, and I'm going to tell you now, I did a research on Andrew Holness' tenure as Prime Minister. So me go look how much people, how much Jamaicans get murdered since Andrew Holness became Prime Minister. In 2016, 1,354 people got murdered. In 2017, 1,647 people got murdered. In 2018, 1,287 Jamaicans got murdered. In 2019, 1,339 Jamaicans got murdered. In 2020, the year of COVID, 1,323 people got murdered. In 2021, COVID was still on. Whole heap of states of emergency. 1,474 people got murdered. In 2022, 1,498 people got murdered in Jamaica. Whole heap of states of emergencies and Zozo. In 2023, 1,393 Jamaicans lost their lives. And in 2024, 1,114 Jamaicans got murdered while Andrew Holness was Prime Minister. Now they write it down. 12,456 people got murdered under Andrew Holness's watch. Now here is the difference. 13,710 people got murdered under PJ Patterson. PJ Patterson was Prime Minister for 14 years. 14 long years. Andrew Holness has been Prime Minister for 9 years. So compare 9 years, 12,456. 13 years, 13,710. So if you're going to compare them, what you have to do is average it out and see how many people die per year. So it would be the total versus the amount of years that you have been Prime Minister. So when you divide 14 by 13,710, the average year murder under PJ Patterson was 979. So you would say every year 979 people dead while PJ Patterson was Prime Minister. But watch this. Under Andrew Holness, when you divide 12,456 by 9, 1,384 persons were murdered during each year under Andrew Holness. So, when you look at it and you say, who more people lost their lives under their watch? Deirdre, must be Andrew Holness, Nadia. And as I did yesterday, based on the math, if Andrew Holness do 10 years as Prime Minister, he would have passed the figure for the 14 years under PJ Patterson. So, that youth they were named, what Davis him name? The one who named Davis down nationwide. And also you analyze things. That's why I don't get so much things wrong. How you analyze it, the poor. You can't just look George Davis him name. Thank you. No. Tanya, it no good down here. It no good. And we're not hearing any plans for things to get better. Not hearing the plans for things to get better at all. So, we understand. We understand. Want to send my condolences to the family and friends of Cocotee, the late Calvin Scott. Cocotee, sweet, sweet Cocotee. Somebody I know personally. I've had a lot of interactions with. Had the pleasure of introducing him on stage a few times. Trust. Lord have mercy. Somebody in the chat room said Draz Davis. Now, man. So, we have to step on them lies and them rubbish. Want to send condolences to the Carr family as well. Mr. Carr passed on. Man who used to work up at the hospital. Want to send condolences to them. 804-7072, that's the number to call. Or 305-654-7944. Telling us that we have Raymond Anderson to talk to, you know. Yeah. So we'll go call up Raymond Anderson. Because we want to talk to him. We want to talk to Raymond Anderson about football. Yeah. Football. I've been asking the question, Caribbean Radio. What's the biggest thing happened to Jamaica on the global stage over the last 45 years? The biggest thing happened to Jamaica over the last 45 years. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, welcome.
First time calling on your program.
Oh, happy to have you. Don't stay away so long, my dearest.
No, I listen to you all the while, no problem. I just don't like to call. That's one thing. But I was listening to the budget yesterday. A caller before was asking about the tax. I guess she's asking, or he asking, where is the cutting of the tax on food that people have to be eating?
So me read the thing wrong. Where is the cutting of the tax on food?
Sure, or you're asking, because they did not mention anything like that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They said they are dropping tax on whatever light.
Electricity bill.
For the light, if for the light, I think people like program like your program and others need to explain, break down the budget, because sometimes the budget read and people don't look at the fine tuning or the underline to it to find out what's the trick in it or whatever is there. And they jump and glad and say, yes, this is that and this is that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look, it's like it's a trick you're getting into, because I remember with the light bill, right? When they said they take off certain things off it. But the kilowatts that they put it to, a lot of people still use it over that kilowatt, so they won't get the benefit of the reduced tax, right?
Exactly.
And know, if you look at what they say, they're taking off now, bringing it down to 7%. But at the same time, there will still be a lot of people, richest poor people, not going to get that benefit either, because the kilowatt hours people still use it more than that.
No, but a whole heap of people don't use that amount either.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And then what you're going to save is minimal.
Yeah, you're not going to save nothing more.
There's no big savings on that tax coming off your electricity bill.
Right. And
I think when it was first announced, we'll work it out. And the savings couldn't buy a patty. Couldn't buy a patty.
When I was looking on it, that's what I was saying. There is nothing there for the ordinary people.
No.
We're not really getting anything. There is nothing for us, And that's to say, I am a person that goes for labor rights. but I'm not a diehard. I observe and analyze things, right?
Okay.
So what I'm noticing is like, we are just under some trick. And then again, some of the things that they say they bring in, even like the school loan, the student loan.
Yeah.
If you notice, if anybody needs benefit or help for September coming, they are not going to get it, because that is not going to come in until we're 2026.
But you see, Carl, I don't know if you listened to Ralston Hyman a while ago when we had him on.
No, I
Yeah.
just
My apologies. We had Ralston earlier, and as you said that you need to break down the budget, we were breaking it down. And when we look at some of the things, because even you're mentioning the student loan now, it's 2026, not this year.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But we have to open our eyes and don't make them fool us again.
Let me tell you, over the years, I've never voted before, and then I vote 2020.
Hold the line for me. Hold on. Caribbean Radio HD, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Welcome.
Hey, good evening. My name is Quinn. I wanted to confirm if you have received the letter we sent you regarding your updated Medicare benefits.
If we did what?
Hello?
Yes, I didn't hear that a while ago. Go ahead.
Yes. So I am calling to inform you about the new Medicare benefits in your area. We sent you a letter about it. You're now offering improved dental,
you're
vision,
live.
and
Hello,
hearing
hello,
with cash
hello,
back
hello.
to $200.
Hello.
I believe you have both Part A and B of Medicare, right?
Hello, good evening. You're live on the radio right now, so I don't think it's the right time to call about that.
Sorry about that.
All
Can
right.
I have just a minute to talk?
No, man, you're live. We are live on the here now. We can't come off the here. All right? All right, so we're live on the here. She's talking about Medicare in my area, I guess. This is a United States number, but you have to call one of the American program them to talk about Medicare. We talk about Jamaica National Health Fund. That's what we talk about in Jamaica. 804-7072. You can call me straight, or you can call me on WhatsApp. Or if you're overseas, you can call me on 305-654-7944. That's 305-654-7944 on Caribbean Radio HD. We're talking about the budget from yesterday. We're talking about Jamaica's economy going forward. Julian Robinson will be talking in the parliament tomorrow. So you heard yesterday what the GLP have. And then tomorrow, you're going to hear now what the PNP they are suggesting for Jamaica. And Mark Golden speaks on Tuesday. Andrew Olness speaks on Thursday of next week. And then Favour Williams come back on the next Tuesday, which I think is about the 25th, to mop up and see if she can find anything. I don't know if she's listening to us, but Ralston basically list out how he thinks that she should come to the people of Jamaica and what she should be saying, because in this day and age, you can't put budget forward and you not tell me where you expect Donald Trump are going to do with the Jamaican people, because right now, Donald Trump is a man where we have to watch the tariffs. I wonder if we can find enough white rum for send to Canada. Because Canada said they might take off US liquor off of them shelf, Raymond. Yeah, man, hold the line for me to connect you, Raymond. Hold on for me. We have Raymond Anderson on the line. And we tell you that we're going to talk a little bit about football with Raymond Anderson. I think last year he ran for president of the Jamaica Football Federation. So he's a man where in the football thing long time. Yeah, man. Long time him in the football thing. Raymond, good evening.
Good evening, Sir Bell.
How you doing, my brother?
I am giving thanks.
Raymond Anderson out of St. Mary. last year you ran for president of the Jamaica Football Federation, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, man. How long now you've been with GFF?
Well, I'm not with JFF from last year.
But you were with them before. How many years?
Yeah, from 85.
From 1985. So
yeah.
it is safe for me to say that 1998, when Jamaica qualified for the World Cup, you were up front and center. What was your role then?
Yes, I was so much up front and center. My role, I was a vice president, and my role was really for the event side there. I chaired the gate committee.
Yes.
And I also was the chair for competition and regulation for the JFF.
You were one of how many vice presidents?
3.
One of 3 vice presidents. So you were in the top room.
Right. And my responsibility, as I said before, was for operation.
All right. Now, Raymond, Jamaica qualified for Football World Cup 1998. We have not been able to do that again. What was different in 1998, 97, 98 than we are doing now?
Well, 98, as you know, at 98, the chemistry was kind of different. The vision was different then. And we were more cohesive. We were more together. And we were more purposeful. I said that to say that if you remember, we started with our local.
Yes.
So the chemistry was easy. You have people playing together over time. The chemistry developed. So you play a football that's different where a lot of people at that time, you'll agree with that you didn't have like your TV or YouTube that much. So you have people know a lot of unnamed were there playing together.
Yes.
And nobody can have them on video, a lot of video or TV to really to look at their playing.
Mm.
So they were actually under the radar.
Yes.
Playing under the radar, yeah?
All right. One of the big things that happened was that we got a coach from Brazil. How did that happen, Raymond Anderson?
Well, it's on the side. As you know, you have the Captain Burrell, where soul was his peace. But it started with Captain Burrell, president at that time. And he had a vision. And I really believe it was a vision. Because when he said it to us in that close group, because Captain did have 2 groups. It's like that the executive and one other group.
Yeah.
Action group.
Yeah.
So when he was selling the idea to us, a lot of people really think them really were wondering if him really serious.
Mm-hmm.
So after selling it to us, he reached out to the then Minister of Sports, which again, you know, is Honorable Simpson Miller.
So Portia Simpson Miller was the sports minister at the time.
Yes. And he sold her the idea.
Yeah.
And based on that, the minister set up a meeting for the JFF to meet with the then Prime Minister.
Yes.
To really actually, again, make a presentation soliciting assistance from the government. And I must tell you, that was an easy sell because the then Prime Minister didn't hesitate to really actually come on board.
And what were their role in all that?
Finance, mostly finance, and assist us with that. You know, at that time, we speak about the office, right?
Yes.
And the office was where all of our game play. So government was involved right up to their neck, right? So we didn't have a problem with that because the government supported the program right through. So going to Brazil for really look for a coach, the government was 110% with JFF at that time, supporting them.
Yeah.
Both ways, financially and international contact.
So the coach coming from Brazil, did that have anything to do with the government to government?
Yes, man, because I said to you, the international contact coming from the then Prime Minister and the Minister of Sport.
Oh.
Right? They assisted us in making the connection.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another story for that, for another time. Oh, Rene Simons was chosen.
Yeah.
And that is why I was saying that it was call it close to miracle.
Yes.
You know? Because Rene wasn't the first choice.
Okay.
Right, but it ended up by, captain. If you know captain, he's tried the iron when it's hot.
Yes.
And if he sees somebody we have confidence in, trust me, he's just going to go at it. And that's what happened. But yes, government to government, that's how the connection started.
Beautiful, beautiful. And when we finally draw that match, it was a drawn match at the stadium with Mexico, no?
Yes, man, that was the match of all match. Although it was a draw match.
Yes.
But that was the match.
And we agree that was the biggest thing to happen to Jamaica on the global stage in the last 45 years. Raymond Anderson, thank you for being a part of it, for serving this country in the way you did, because it was a team effort.
Listen, man, even though I remember traveling sometime from West Welland, and they will tell you, looking on the road, you're wondering what really happened. Everybody, most people should say, actually in yellow. Yeah?
Yes, man.
And that was a day of celebration that, clear in my mind, is the best thing that ever happened to Jamaica.
All right, my brother. I want to thank you for coming on this evening. We know we're deep in your work time, but give thanks.
Yeah, man. You're welcome, man. Anything but football.
We'll talk again. Blessings.
All right. Take care, Sir Bell.
All right. Raymond Anderson, you heard the man. He was there in 1998 when Jamaica qualified for World Cup. We go back to the phone lines. 804-7072, 305-654-7944. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. 876-804-7072, 305. Hello, good evening.
Shaka.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Let me ask you a question. I just want some clarification right here. I remember in one, wasn't Daryl Vaz a U.S. citizen at one point?
Yes.
Was Abe Dabdoo the family lawyer at one point?
Yes.
Is it? I'm trying to do some recollection. When he had to denounce his U.S. citizenship to a green card so he can sit in parliament. Didn't he have a runoff, a by-election between him and Abe Dabdoo?
Yes, there was a by-election. Yes.
And it was between him and Abe Dabdoo, right?
Yes.
So I'm just curious about something. I can remember on one of the camps, I think it was nomination day for that by-election. Abe Dabdoo, some of the supporters of Abe Dabdoo were dressed in Immaculate Conception High School uniform.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Okay. A friend of mine were having a conversation and they did mention that. I was just trying to get some clear. When that you're from Portland?
Yeah.
And you might be on the ground. I was trying to clarify that statement.
Them time them need to do politics. Them time them a beat politician.
All the time in music.
I was right where I am now. Back then, I was a broadcaster from them time there. And me used to put it on the politician them. Because if you're not working, I am going to say you're not working. And politicians are like when you tell them, say them not work.
And to be honest, listen, no shaka. You see, me still, me is a diehard PNP, but it's a Jamaican first.
That is me. Jamaican first.
I am a Jamaican first.
PNP after.
PNP second. So
yeah, man.
PNP if you get beaten, PNP will get beaten.
Yeah, man. If them not do what them for do, man, we have a talk.
Yeah, man. And that's the problem with the most we as Jamaican. We are too much dieharded. We must be Jamaican first because at the end of the day, we are the ones that are paying taxes.
Yes, man.
That the country is in right now, it's generational debt. It's my picnic, my grand picnic, my great grand picnic. So we have to be Jamaican first and foremost and stop the dieharded politician.
Yeah, man. You have your party where you prefer or your party that you're a member of, but you must use politics as a tool. You must make politics use you as the tool. You ever hear a man praise a hammer if you put on a roof? Is the carpenter get praise?
No. The carpenter get praise to put on the roof. I know you who buy the material to put on the roof. Are the carpenter?
Yes, man. Yes, man. So,
all right.
Shaka.
I want to clarify. I want to clear up that step. All right?
All right, my brother. 804-7072 305-654-7944. Give us a call. We're discussing anything you want to discuss. We're touching politics. We're touching sports. You heard we just did some sports a while ago. Earlier in the show, we played a clip because we're calling on Auntie Babsy to tell us what is happening at the National Stadium. What we're hearing not sound good. Because there was also some discussion about with the German people who had laid down the previous track. That the track, they wanted the contract to do the refurbishing, but they are saying that they couldn't do it at the price and at the speed. So Babsy, the government bring in this new contractor, and what they did, the track is now downgraded to a level 2 track. We want to get a full understanding what that means. What a level 2 track means, different from what a level 1 track means. We want to get the full understanding of that. We played this clip here earlier. People at Caribbean Radio never hear this clip here. But listen this. From TVJ News.
Welcome back to Primetime Sports Tuesday. There is the clearest indication yet that the newly relayed track at the National Stadium will only be recertified at level 2, moving down 1 level from the previous track. Keon Rainier continues to examine all aspects of the work being done on the track to include the actual cost.
With the jitters now out of the way in terms of the new stadium track being completed ahead of the March 24 deadline by track manufacturers Rakuten, the obvious question is whether it will remain at the level 1 certification on the World Athletics system. TVJ Sports put that question to Grand Slam Tracks venue director Don Lockerbie in a one-on-one interview on Tuesday.
So that's a really tricky question because I didn't say it would be certified for 5 years. I said it would be warranted for 5 years. In other words, the surfacing should be able to maintain its strength, its speed, its color, and provide all the racers with a tremendous bounce. That's a critical part of what we wanted to provide. We worked with World Athletics on the certification of the track. Things have changed. And right now, for this facility to become certification for a class 1 certification in the future, they're going to have to remove the bike track. They're going to have to add more in the way of long jump runways and things of that nature.
But what does that mean for the times achieved on this track?
And so right now, what we would say is that the lines are certified. In other words, if a record takes place here, we know that the engineering's been done and there will be a book of engineering submitted to World Athletics, and that they will then know that the track has met all of their standards for lane lines and the accuracy of the track. So that will be at the highest certification. Any record here will stand.
Lockerbie also confirmed that Grand Slam Track suggested that the track be relayed after having an independent assessment done on the 4-year-old track previously laid by BSW Reggae in 2021.
We came down with a certified lab from Georgia in the States, who came down and basically was the one who helped us understand what the situation was. And the situation wasn't very good. In fact, it didn't pass any current IAAF or World Athletics surfacing standards. Any other report that might say it was, I would have to say, well, we just didn't agree. And we didn't agree so much that we would pull out of Jamaica if we had to run on that blue track.
However, another independent assessment ordered by BSW Reggae by a company out of Thailand showed the opposite finding, that the track still met level 1 certification up to July 2026. Sports Minister Olivia Grange had indicated that the cost to do the track was US $350,000, but Lockerbie revealed that Grand Slam track also paid more than that amount towards the work.
I can confirm that we are responsible for the majority of the bill, and we're glad to do it as part of our long-term relationship and partnership with Jamaica, the sport of track and field and athletics in Jamaica, and this particular stadium. And, you know, with what we hear might be the future plans of it, this could very well be the finest track and field facility in the hemisphere.
According to TVJ Sports sources who requested anonymity, the cost to relay the track is well over $800,000. In the meantime, Lockerbie and IPL General Manager Major Desmond Brown confirmed that Boys and Girls Championships will be the first meet on the track, not the Velocity Fest meet, which is set for March 22, as was announced by Bruce James on Monday. Keon Reyna reporting for TVJ Sports.
Yeah, there you have it. So, my concern is about all the time. Pringle, 804-7072. Pringle, I don't have no way of connecting this call. You have to try me upon 804-7072. You need to save that number to your phone, Pringle. 876-804-7072. Call me upon that number, man. You have to save that number to your phone, because that is the number that we have on here. And when you call me on WhatsApp, I have no way of connecting that phone. If you call me straight, then I might can connect it on a 3-way. Yeah, man. So if you're in America and you want to call us, it's 305-654-7944. You can call me on that as well and talk to us from overseas. We are live on Caribbean Radio HD. Somebody say, I saw a clip with the Maverick, and it was saying that they had to take up the blue track instead of covering it up. So this administration wasted all the money, because what I am hearing is that the new track was laid on top of the blue track, so that makes it more spongy instead of making it firm. So I don't know what difference that brings. No organizer in Jamaica who can upkeep the track. Well, you see, if we need to bring people from abroad to do the upkeep on the track, then we need to do that. But the level where Jamaica is in track and field on the global stage, we can't allow second best to come here. We have to put in the best, because when it comes to sprinted, as I said, we are either number 1 or number 2, but not lower than second in the world of sprinting. Only the United States can challenge this little island, and that's why I tell people that Jamaica is the biggest little island in the world. Biggest little island in the world. But if we don't take care of our asset, then we have a problem. 305, good evening. Yeah, man, welcome to Caribbean Radio. Talk to me. Yeah, break up, man. If you're calling from Jamaica, call 876-804-7903. And you're breaking up. All right, my brother. Yeah, man. Just asking everybody to check out my social media handles. I am Colin Shaka Fame Bell at TikTok. Check out my TikTok. I am Portland Spice TV at YouTube. And I'm asking if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel. May I beg your subscription to my YouTube channel. Portland Spice TV. One word. PROTLAND SPICE TV. Subscribe to my channel. So, yeah. I like the Jamaican flag, Sister Tanya. Straight. Jamaica. But when it comes to track and field, we are a powerhouse. And we must make certain that whatever we're doing, we have enough time that we get the best result. Our track supposed to be A-class, A1 track. Yeah? We don't want nobody come at Jamaica and I criticize the track. That's not good enough for where we are in athletics. But then I have to look at the sports minister. And the sports minister show a whole heap of shortcomings. I think Babsy, with all due respect, I've gotten to the stage now where Babsy need to just come up match as an icon. You know? Come a track and field event, come a stage show as an icon. But Auntie Babsy, I think you have done your part and we need fresh blood now in the thing. I have a message here. I have a voice note. Somebody shout Conrad O'Brien because I have a voice note here when I want to play. I have a voice note here when I play Sam. Sam, welcome.
Yeah, I'm sorry I joined your program very late.
Yeah.
Did you get the chance to listen to the whistleblower that Mr. Taylor talked last night?
I listened to some of her. I didn't listen to everything. I need to go back and hear the rest. But I listened to some of it live.
Okay, all right. Why? It's a frightening situation, don't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And no wonder the crowd report, they're not going to release the crowd report to the public.
Well, we're not stop till we get it.
But do you believe that Margolin, we have the courage, right?
Yeah.
To make the law take its course against these people?
But we have to do a forensic audit of the government, you know, man. Once there's a new government with all the corruption and all the allegations, because some of it are allegations, so you have to do a forensic audit, a deep dive to know what is true, to be able to say to the people, this is what we found. We found a crash economy. So there has to be a forensic audit, bro.
Yeah, what I'm saying, with all of that, when that took place, we want him to be courageous to do what the law say he should do.
But I know he must do it, and the police have to do them work.
But he can.
People.
No, but as a leader, he can also make sure the investigation of the audit report.
Yeah, man.
Turn over to DVP.
Right. So what he has to do is to create the environment, which I am confident that he will do. And then the police will have to do their work. Celine Browning, good evening.
I want to give an example.
Yeah.
I want to give an example. The Mayor Kingston revealed something yesterday, right? About 30 workers working at a park, right? And he have it down to 9, right? And the farmer Mayor response was that in those staff.
You know, when I want to ask him, I would want to ask him if it's the same 30 people under Angela Burke was there until this mayor dismissed some of them.
No. What? It's sure even so. It's sure a person who is courageous enough to do what is right.
Yeah, man, you have to step on them thing there.
Right? Or one who enhance the corruption to his benefit also.
Yeah.
I'm on a program, Tashal. Right? So everything, what our leaders in various sectors of the country are not courageous enough to prison some of these elite criminals.
Have to be.
Because the small criminal now,
yeah,
the police and the court take its course now. But the elite criminal is the people who have the authority in government to set the environment that these people go to prison.
Well,
it's one time or a modern time now. It happened now. It's one time or a modern time it happened now. And is the former Minister of Labour and JP government.
Yeah,
and
see
why
where Portia sent him.
Yeah, and why it happened? Because in this saga.
In the Siaga, no?
Yeah, when Portia called Siaga, something nobody tell me. When Portia called Siaga, she says, talk to him. And she call him, call Siaga.
Sure.
And she call me Speed. And say, me Speed, what you have to do? That's why he got prison.
All right. So if he did behave right, maybe he would still wouldn't go to prison.
Because that's how the Jamaican people, that's the problem why we have so low voters turnout.
Yeah. All right.
Because in the mindset of the people, them only when they want platform, then go like them against one another. But in around them table, around them drinking,
the whole of
they
them
are
are friends.
Right? And that's in the back of the mind of the people.
I've something I want you to listen to. Somebody just sent me a clip where Marlon Morgan sent them. I want you to listen to this, Sam.
Brethren.
Hang up,
no. Hold on, listen.
Hang up and listen, Sam.
With due respect. With due respect. No, listen to Marlon Morgan again.
No, I said listen this. Hang up and listen to this. I want you to listen to this. Listen to this.
You ever start learning something, you see, guy? Whether you want to celebrate the pitfalls or setback that Jamaica may suffer or not, no point will be scored for you or the pathetic PNP of which you are a part. I want you to understand that in very clear terms, because you guys are at a new low in terms of just how pathetic you guys are. Mark Golding, Conrad O'Brien, this Jeffrey fellow, Ralston Hyman, Peter Bunting, you are all a pathetic set seeking to essentially celebrate negatives. So what do travel advisors mean in the grand scheme of things for people who rely on our tourism product? You don't even care about that. And that's why I said what I said last week. You guys would want to get to Jamaica House, even if it means swimming in the blood of your Jamaican brothers and sisters. But guess what is the reality, guy? Guess what is the reality? The sheriff is in town now. Marlon Morgan is on the park now. It's a different ballgame now.
Hold on there. I want to touch back
Peter Bunting in the Senate and licking him. The sheriff is in town now, sisters. But guess what is the reality, guy? Guess what is the reality? The sheriff is in town now. You don't even care about that. And that's why I said what I said last week. You guys would want to get to Jamaica House, even if it means swimming in the blood of your Jamaican brothers and sisters. But guess what is the reality, guy?
What is the reality? What does that mean?
The sheriff is in town now.
Somebody call Marlon Morgan
on the park now.
Hold on.
Different ballgame now.
Hold on. So somebody need to call Marlon Morgan for me. Hold on there. Because what that mean, even if it means swimming in the blood of your Jamaican brothers and sisters, what that mean? Hold on there, man. Hold on there. We have Conrad O'Brien on the line. Conrad.
Colin.
Wagwan. Somebody just sent me that voice note that was sent to you by Marlon Morgan. What is that? Even if it means swimming in the blood of your Jamaican brothers, what that mean?
Well, here's the thing. I must say I don't know if Marlon had sent that communique to other persons, right? However, he sent it to me, and I must say that when I listened to it, I was so taken aback that I share it with at least one individual.
Yeah.
And it seems as if that individual had basically shared the voice note with other persons, because I must say that I have been getting a lot of calls.
No, Obi,
on it.
I got it in a group. I got it in a group.
Yeah.
Hold on there, Obi. Hold on there for me. Hold on there.
As a matter of fact,
hold on, Obi. Hold on. Because I want to see if I can play this again.
Mark Golding, Conor O'Brien, this Jeffrey fellow, Ralston Hyman, Peter Bunting, you are all a pathetic set, seeking to essentially celebrate negatives. So what do travel advisors mean in the grand scheme of things for people who rely on our tourism product? You don't even care about that. And that's why I said what I said last week. You guys would want to get to Jamaica House, even if it means swimming in the blood of your Jamaican brothers and sisters. But guess what is the reality, guy?
Hold on there. Obi.
Yeah.
What that means, swimming in the blood of your brothers and sisters. That is the part where grab me. That's the part that jump out at me. What does that mean?
Which part of it?
The part where he said you guys would want to get to Jamaica House, even if it means swimming in the blood of your brothers.
I really, to be honest with you, I would be happy if you could get the goodly senator to come on and really speak to you on it, because I am really taken aback,
I think I'm going to try call him. Let me try it.
I really don't understand why would the senator be so upset and want to treat me personally in such a manner, someone who have been an advocate for the senator, to the point where I would say that the PM had actually, probably recognized the advocacy that myself and others in the PNP made for Marlon, believe that he had worked tirelessly.
Yeah.
Not just while the JLP is in government, but certainly from they were in opposition, he had done a lot of heavy lifting.
Colin here. Me just get a clip here, Marlon. I'm actually on here right now. And I just got a clip that you sent to somebody. And I am playing the clip on here now, and I would love to hear your response to the clip. You want me to play it so you can hear it? Hold on, Marlon. Let me play it.
Because you guys are at a new low in terms of just how pathetic you guys are. Mark Golding, Conor O'Brien, this Jeffrey fellow, Ralston Hyman, Peter Bunting, you are all a pathetic set, seeking to essentially celebrate negatives. So what do travel advisors mean in the grand scheme of things for people who rely on our tourism product? You don't even care about that. And that's why I said what I said last week. You guys would want to get to Jamaica House, even if it means swimming in the blood of your Jamaican brothers and sisters. But guess what is the reality, guy?
Hold on, the reality. Marlon.
The sheriff is in town now. Marlon
yeah, man,
Morgan is on the card now. It's a different ball game now. So when I buck Peter Bunting in the Senate and lick him in him clot, whoever wants to take it off, try to take it off me from the back. Watch the ride, brother.
Hold on, Marlon. Can I put you on here so you can explain it to the listeners? Because they... hold on, let me put you on here. You're not on here now. Let me put you on here. Hold on for me. So we had Marlon Morgan to the call. Marlon, go ahead. We have Obi on the line as well.
Colin. So I heard the clip you played just now.
Yes.
For the benefit of your listeners and for context, I was having a conversation via WhatsApp with my colleague and co-host at New Stock, Straight Up, Conor O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
He this morning sent me an editorial from a blogger named Jeffrey, where they were highlighting what you would call
a travel advisory,
an adverse travel advisory,
right,
where Jamaica is concerned, describing it among other things as breaking news. Nothing that the finance minister spoke about yesterday in the parliament is breaking news for them. What is breaking news is an adverse travel advisory, which has from time to time been issued in relation to Jamaica. Thankfully, in this case, murders are coming down significantly due to the hard work of the men and women in the constabulary.
But before you get there, Marlon, before you get there, Marlon, before you
come to the substantive point,
yeah,
you know.
the part that struck me.
Clear.
Hold on, the part that struck me is the part that says you guys would want to get to Jamaica House, even if it means swimming in the blood of your brothers.
Yeah, man. So watch me now. As I said in that voice note, and let me reiterate, because there are persons like myself who are very unapologetic in being guardians of the interests of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica. So let me be very clear. Last Thursday on radio, I made some remarks in my opening commentary on News Start 93 FM, where I made that observation among other observations. And the simple point I'm making is that I have observed a preponderance of narrative aimed at demoralizing the police, having regard to the reduction in crime that we are seeing. Because persons who are seeking to raise concerns about police killings, we know the ultimate agenda that those persons have.
Does that include the Prime Minister?
Hold on. I'm speaking, man. I don't want us to speak.
No, man,
if
but
you want me to pause, I will pause.
We're having a dialogue, Marlon. Does that include the Prime Minister? Because the Prime Minister has now raised some concerns about the latest spate of police killings.
Colin, let me be very clear. The Prime Minister has expressed a mantra in relation to which he is unequivocal. The criminals in our midst are being advised to meet a judge or meet their maker. The Prime Minister is clear. The police operate, among other things, Colin, under the aegis of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Act. They are expected to be professional and lawful men and women in the discharge of their jobs. So the Prime Minister need make no point, as it were. And the observation that the Prime Minister made last week is, it goes without saying, the lawful actions of the police is what we support in this country. And if there's any police... Hold on, let me finish the thought I'm making. And you chime in. I'm midway of thought. So the simple point is this. If there are actions on the part of the police that raises questions and bring the officer into disrepute, appropriate mechanisms will take place in terms of probe by INDICOM, a probe by the constabulary's own iProbe, which is an internal investigative entity in the JCF, and the chips fall where they may. Because when the police commissioner sends out and deploys men and women of the force, they are expected to perform their duties in keeping with the laws of the land. So that is very clear, my brother.
Hold on, gentlemen. Hold on, because we are up to the time on Caribbean Radio HD. Let me say thanks to our listeners over there at Caribbean Radio HD. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us. Remember, we are on Caribbean HD Radio every Tuesday evening, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and every Wednesday evening, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Thanks to the people on Caribbean Radio for listening. One love. Brother Gary, big up yourself. Go ahead, Obi.
Good. Marlon, you say Marlon wants to have his cake and eat it. The fact of the matter is that Marlon believes that the Prime Minister has the right to chime in to say, listen, police, you must conduct yourself a particular way. And also said, and when someone like myself asks the same question of the police and basically just raise the argument to say, here, what happened? I agree totally, because nobody is not idiot. So none of us could believe that police are going to sit down like sitting dogs and allow gunmen to pump bullets at them and they basically run under a shop taser. Absolutely not. What we are, certainly I at the very minimum, what I said that, listen, because there are so much questioning, so much doubt even. Why not hasten the outfitting of police officers with body-worn cameras? And Marlon seems to have a problem with that. And as I always remind people that certainly I, maybe more than many, have a vested interest in criminals, gunmen, being brought to justice because I lost my younger brother, Peter O'Brien, to gunmen bullets. When the autopsy was done on Peter, the doctors said that, listen, this man have 50 odd years of life in his body because he was so lean and healthy and destined up throughout his life. So therefore, I understand clearly my mother and father was alive at the time. It was the first one child out of 11 of us that had died. So they were burying their first child, right? After that, I lost another brother to illness, to illness. But I'm making the point that, listen, for Marlon to consistently saying, and what he said in that voice note there, in terms of calling my name and others and associating me with basically almost like he's saying that, listen, I am supporting criminals and I'm happy. And I'm upset because crime is going down. I believe that he's impugning my character because there's absolutely no evidence at all for Marlon that Marlon should be saying that, listen, I am supporting, I am upset rather about the reduction of murder. I am happy for whatever reduction of murder. But as I said on radio as well, that it came to my attention where a police officer had gone to a young man's house as recent as 2 weeks ago. And the young man was in a tizzy. He had to basically observe every document, everything in his house to prove to them that, listen, he was a recent university graduate. Even except they would have pumped bullets in his body. And all I'm saying is that to avoid all of those, when the police goes out, the decent thing to do or the logical thing to do is to outfit the police with body-worn cameras. And as I close out, the fact is that it must be a concern to a number of us here in Jamaica that has no political axe to grind, but simply just looking at it to say, listen, the police shooting so far for this year has been alarming. And as I keep on saying, either way, whether it is gunmen taking up their gun and just shooting after the police, that in itself is cause for concern. Because why gunmen have become so brazen? And it's even asked a bigger question or of more concern. If police officers are acting and carry out extrajudicial
I don't have a long time available because I'm getting ready to head off to an event. But
yeah, man.
Be clear, Colin.
Yeah.
Be very clear.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, copious updates and advisories have been provided in relation to the status of the deployment of body-worn cameras. I have been on Conrad O'Brien's program myself in relation to providing that update. The constabulary needs 8,000.
Hold on, Conrad. Let him go ahead. Let him finish.
The constabulary, there are some 8,000 men and women who are on the front lines and in operational settings, and they need about 8,000. At present, they have 750,000 body-worn cameras.
Hold on. They have how much, Marlon?
There are 750 body-worn cameras.
Oh, because you just said 750,000, that's why I stopped you.
No, man, 750.
All right. So why aren't those being utilized?
So, no. The 750 body-worn cameras are deployed and are being utilized. That's the point we're making.
So why why they are not given to the people who are going on special operation?
Follow-up question. Just to be clear, before we got these 750 cameras being deployed in the system at present, there was an enabling bit of technological infrastructure that had to be sorted prior. and that has now been sorted. It has been sorted to the tune of billions of dollars. But separate and apart from that, the constabulary is in procurement right now for a further 1,000 body-worn cameras. So for those persons who are trying to draw a red herring across the trail, my point, my observation is a profound one. And my simple point is this. I note in the public discourse on the part of some people a clear disproportionate, a clear skew toward issues of police fatal shooting, rather than commending the police on the professional discharge of their duties, which is affecting the sustained and significant reduction in crime as we're seeing it as present.
Please respond to this.
Point I'm making.
Please respond to this. The Prime Minister came out the other day and said he has concern. Is the Prime Minister looking funny at the police?
The Prime Minister came out the other day, Colin, and reiterated what the standard of professional conduct is in relation to men and women at the constabulary.
Did he say that he's also concerned about the amount of police murders?
No policeman or woman is to go out and conduct themselves in an indiscriminate manner, because that would be contrary to the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
So what is the problem if other people say the same thing?
Let me just finish making the point I'm making. I made the point on my radio program last week that there's a famous quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He says, "Your actions speak so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." So on the morning following Favour Williams' presentation of the budget, with some 21, according to her count, good news items, what Conor O'Brien elected to circulate this morning in the space is essentially an item of breaking news from a gentleman I suspect he's in the diaspora, Mr. Jeffrey.
Is it
credible?
Travel advisory. Is it credible? Is it? Have you checked?
Travel advisory, to the extent that a travel advisory is from the U.S. State Department, that speaks for itself.
So why you have a problem with people? Why you have a problem with people putting it out?
Because there are 21 good news items that were in the budget.
So hold on.
The point I'm making.
So all views not content in the space.
So I'm happy you're asking the question, Colin. So let me provide the answer. Right, you're asking me what is the issue I took. The issue I took is simply this. There are persons, and I have asserted and I have cited Conor O'Brien being among them, who to my mind are in the business of trading in, amplifying and delighting in stories and commentary that is adverse to Jamaica and Jamaica's interest.
So what you said that they should hide any adverse story shouldn't come to the fore.
No.
What you people doing? Gearing towards a dictatorship? Is it that you are gearing towards a dictatorship? So you want people to put out what you want them to put out? And not to put out the news as it is?
Just be clear now. Let's be clear. Persons like OB and Mr. Jeffrey may elect to put out whatever they are electing to put out. What the point of departure that I have, and the issue I'm drawing attention to, is that when you take note of what they put out relative to what is in the space, for example, 21 good news stories, it is very instructive.
But Marlon, maybe they see it as 21 rubbish. Because the budget presentation yesterday was rubbish. Rubbish.
I am making no. Well, that's fine, man.
So you call it
your views.
No, but you call it 21 good news. They didn't see it that way. They see the travel advisory as a danger to Jamaica. Why you don't want that to come out?
So I would want to be allowed 30 seconds to
go
complete
ahead.
The thought I am making.
Go ahead.
And the thought I am completing. So just to be very clear, when you choose not to indicate that the income tax threshold is increasing, the GCT threshold is moving from 10 million
let me tell you something.
to $15 million.
This is not a dictatorship, lest you forget. This is not a dictatorship, lest you forget. Jamaica is still a democratic country, and not because Desmond McKenzie said them now, do whatever Jamaica to the PNP. Give up Jamaica to the PNP. It is not a dictatorship. So if there's a travel advisory from the United States and a blogger or a media house feel like that is what they want to put out, you don't have the right to believe that because they put out that they're against the government.
All right, let me say this now, because we're not talking about government here. In that voice note that Conor O'Brien played, yes, what I said in it was very clear. I didn't talk about government. I spoke about Jamaica and Jamaica's interests. So let me be very clear in the point I'm making because I have to run. All I am saying is that when you take note of what was being peddled by Conrad O'Brien, it is clear in my view that there are persons who are seeking to trade in, amplify, and play on for their own partisan consideration and agenda the things that are negative in Jamaica and adverse to Jamaica's interests, such as an adverse travel advisory coming out of the United States.
And let me just say this to you in leaving.
The simple point I made is this. 5 seconds, my friend. The simple point I made is this. Yes? No amount of trading in negatives about Jamaica and decrying Jamaica will score points for Conrad O'Brien, Mark Golding, Peter Bunting, or the PNP.
And let me say this to you, Marlon Morgan, as somebody who is in the media now. Let me tell you that we will continue to fight for freedom of the press, and no government should dictate what any media house put out. So if the budget was yesterday and a travel, listen, I'm talking, I am speaking. So if the budget was yesterday and you, as the government, believe that you had 21 good news and a travel advisory come out from the United States or any country, and the media house believe that they must highlight the travel advisory, it is not for the government to dictate. So I'm asking you as a media man yourself, respect the freedom of the press.
So the point you made a while ago was about media and press freedom. When your party leader, Shaka Fame, decried and impugned the integrity of the Gleaner by suggesting that it published the voter intent findings in the Dollar and the Suppose on a Saturday to essentially undermine
was
the
that
PNP,
that true?
That is an attack on press freedom.
Was that true?
When he
did Warmington say the Gleaner? Hold on, I'm speaking again. Did Warmington say the Gleaner is out to bring down the Prime Minister? Did you talk to Warmington about that?
Watch me now.
Marlon.
Mark Golding occupies a constitutional post as opposition leader.
And Warmington do accommodate a constitutional post as an MP.
That the media has been bought out by the JLP. That is very offensive, and I think that is something for which Mark Golding should apologize.
Apologize.
That's an observation that he should withdraw.
Apologize to Nationwide. All right, Marlon.
It was the Gleaner he was talking about, my brother.
We will.
The government essentially bark out the media. So he was talking about all media houses, quite frankly, not just Nationwide News Network, but his salvo about the publication of the poll.
And Marlon Morgan,
Morgan,
Everard Warmington has done worst. That's all I will say to you. So you are in no position to talk about what Mark Golding said. And I am saying to you that press freedom.
What happened in Connecticut 2 Saturdays ago.
And
anyway, have a good program, gentlemen. I have to run.
You too, my brother.
I'm going for an event, so have a good evening.
Big up yourself. Press freedom is vital in any democracy. Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me call you back. Let me call you back around this, Obi. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on there for me. Press freedom. And you see, it can be that there's a travel advisory. And because you think the budget debate was good, people have to put out the advisory. Go ahead, caller.
Colin.
Yeah, man.
I don't understand Marlon at all, you know. I don't understand Marlon. Marlon is a sick person, you know.
Yeah, man.
Marlon is a sick person, man.
How it means swimming at the blood? What kind of argument them there? Swimming at the blood of your Jamaican brothers.
I don't understand it, but as I'm saying to you that him should have why ask him when Nationwide do if Nationwide carry credible news. Ask him if Nationwide because he might talk about what Kevin O'Brien talk about. When Kevin O'Brien talk about have nothing to do with him.
No, Conrad O'Brien.
Conrad O'Brien. If the news carry say
there's a travel advisory. But you see, what these people are driving to is a dictatorship. So if they are not pleased with what you put out, then them tell you about swimming at the blood of your brothers and sisters. Little more your party.
So I was 21 good news. I was 21 good news matter about.
Rubbish. You know, you may tell him say budget are rubbish. There's nothing for growth in the budget, brother. We'll talk.
All right.
Yeah, man. There's nothing for growth in the budget. When you listen to that budget, then you're worried about where Jamaica is going. And I resent the statement. And you realize that Marlon Morgan is trying to stand by that statement. He's trying to stand by that statement. Obi.
Yeah, yes, Colin.
Oh, you get cut off, man. Whenever you get cut off.
I don't know what happened. I was trying to reconnect, but it's all right. You know, because what happened, and I know that Marlon may be listening, what I would want Marlon to explain to your listeners why he keeps on attacking me and others and making this point that, listen, I am supporting criminal elements and I have an issue with the number of murder going on. Attacking people, to include yourself, Colin, because you were also named in that text message that was sent. You were also named. Peter Bunkin was named. Mark Golden was named. Ralston Hyman was named. And Marlon does it ad nauseam. He does it on his program and elsewhere. You know, as if, listen, we are supposed to suspend our brain and allow Jamaica to run as an autocratic state that is only people who are in support of the government supposed to speak.
That's how the BF doing now.
Colin,
yeah.
I also want to say this, that the communique of which Marlon spoke about, right, what gets him upset, it was my original communique. That was a breaking news that was sent from YouTube host Jeffrey
Tavares.
Jeffrey Tavares. And what I simply did was to forward the message to Marlon, and indeed he got in our fit.
Because anything that doesn't suit them don't want it to come out.
Absolutely.
And that's why they want to tell the people of Jamaica that the country is not in a recession. They want to bring a fight with the Oxford Dictionary. What a set of people.
Absolutely. And that is why, Colin, even persons within the media got in our fit when Percival Noel James Patterson did not tell one lie, but certainly outlined a raft of achievement that bring Jamaica into a state of modernization. Right? And they are so upset that man said, please, they must go put on in gown or put on in frock. And mining kick down the chimney. And yesterday, I must say, I called on the Press Association of Jamaica to basically, speak to this. However, I was told by a former president of the Press Association that is not within their remit and so on. They don't want to seem as if they're Muslim. So I went further. I asked him if he was happy with that comment. And he said, no, indeed. It was an untidy comment and he wouldn't have gone there. So if you, as a former president of the Press Association, see it's so egregious, why not? And you hold a major position in one of the largest media houses in Jamaica. Why is it you can't come out or you can't advise your newsroom to say, listen, this was untidy, and certainly us from this side of the media, we want to condemn that assault that was made on a former Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Was very rude and cross. Very rude.
Indeed.
But
people, I got calls from the United Kingdom, United States, Canada, Grand Cayman, all over the place. Turks and Caicos, and people are in awe. Can't believe that someone uses position behind the mic to be so cross, so rude, so out of order against to a former prime minister.
I said it yesterday evening that me never know say there's some mainstream media gone now. Me think them thing there was left for social media.
Blogger, absolutely.
And for those who didn't hear it, hold on, Obi. For those who didn't hear it, hear this.
Yeah.
Zach, to prove that you have no moral authority to enter any argument about how this country is run. And in tandem with your former finance minister, the two of you together remind me of Dick Dastardly and Motley from Wacky Racers. You did to this country
I hope your listeners are here.
what Phillips and Simpson Miller, Holness and Shaw, Holness and Clark, and now Holness and Favour Williams are trying to correct. I say to you, Mr. Percival, you talk about you missed the days when you would put on your gown and go to court. Put on your nightgown and go to bed. I might kick over your chamber pot on the way.
They heard it very clear.
Zach.
They heard it very clear, Irby.
Good. And I also, Colin, and you can play it just for fair play and for equity. I also sent you that breaking news story that Jeffrey Tavares basically sent out this morning that was forwarded to Marlon. And we must ask the question, is it?
Oh, God. my bad, Obi. Hold on. Let me get back, Conrad, because I just take up the phone and just cut him off. Lord have mercy. Obi, my bad. Trying to do everything. Hold on, Obi, my bad. I cut you off. Sorry about that. Take up the phone and trying to do everything all at the same time. And just, instead of moving that from the front of the phone, I disconnected the call. My apologies. Let me bring you back. So we have back Conrad. Yeah, Obi.
Yes, Colin. The question that we'd like to ask Marlon, and certainly the government in general, is it true that an advisory was issued today, the 12th day of March 2025, by the United States State Department of the United States government? Is it true, or is it a falsehood Jeffrey Tavares is spreading? That's the big question.
Let me play the advisory.
Well,
Hold on, Obi.
Talk breaking news. News just coming to a news center. As of March 12, 2025, the United States Department has issued a travel advisory against Jamaica, warning the citizens not to travel to Jamaica because of poor health care and high crime. As the United States Department has issued a level 3 advisory to Jamaica, warning the citizens not to travel to Jamaica because of poor health care and high crime. This is Make We Talk breaking news.
No, if that is a lie, then fine. But as Marlon admit, that where it is coming from, it's not a lie. So why your problem? Fix the issues that the country is having.
And you know, Colin, I listen to my friend, and I'll refer to her that way. My friend, Minister Favour Williams, somebody who people hear from time to time. I said, listen, I quite like her. Somebody said, boy, how come you like Favour? But I like her, you know, that's cool. Favour. So, but I must say, I heard Favour went back to 1974 in her presentation yesterday to make a point in order to lambaste the People's National Party. But I want to remind Marlon and remind also Favour and others that the only leader, political leader, Prime Minister even, that had gone out of Jamaica to the United States to tell investors not to come to Jamaica and to badmouth Jamaica was the late Edward Philip George Seaga.
But
Eddie.
Conrad,
yes?
that piece that George Davis did about crime, you scrutinized it?
His number is flawed.
Well, the numbers are not so flawed, but his conclusion is flawed. Because I tell you what happened, Conrad. He said that under PG as Prime Minister, 13,710 Jamaicans were murdered. right? But what he
in
didn't
14 years.
That's what he didn't tell the people, that
In
PJ was
14
prime
years.
minister for 14 years.
Yes.
But in 9 years, under Andrew Holness, 12,456 persons were murdered.
So let's prorate it. And PJ has a much better record.
Let's do the
than Andrew.
average. Let's do the average.
Yeah.
Under PJ, 14 years, 13,710. PJ comes out at an average of 979 murders per year.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Holness comes out at an average of 1,384 murders each year. And if you look at the math and the science of it, if Andrew Holness do one more year, that means he would have done 10 years. He would have gone 13,800 and change. So his conclusion is fraud.
Absolutely, and I know that they're listening, Colin. So we're sending this message, George. Please look at it. Look at the numbers. It's 9 years versus 14 years. The ultimate number on the PJ is 14 years. The number so far on the Holness, and do the average, right? Do the average. Colin, repeat the numbers for me, please.
So let me tell you, 14 years of PJ Patterson as Prime Minister, 13,710 persons murder. When you divide the 13,710 by 14, it's 979 people per year murdered. Now, is that all right? Absolutely not. That is definitely too much. But let's look at Andrew Holness, the man who promised us to sleep with our doors and windows open. 9 years from 2016 to 2024, 12,456 Jamaicans murdered. If you divide the 12,456 by 9, you get 1,384 persons murdered annually under Andrew Holness.
Certainly, cheese the chalk. You know, Colin, you have been talking about the budget. Let's touch a little bit on it. And I have been harping on this for weeks now. From the moment it came out of the General Secretary of the People's National Party and spokesman on agriculture mouth, Dr. Dayton Campbell, I have been asking the question. As a matter of fact, I reached out to Floyd Green, the Minister of Agriculture, the very next day after Dayton spoke on the platform. And I said, Minister, the spokesperson of agriculture, Dr. Dayton Campbell, said that only 35% of the agro-parks are under cultivation. He said to me that, listen, you cannot look at it that way. You have to look, because some parks are under X amount and Y amount under cultivation by way of percentage. But in truth, you have to look at it the way they talk about it. Because if you have 100 hectares of land, and it's only 35 hectares out of the 100 on the cultivation.
That's what it is.
That's how you're going to look at it.
That's what it is.
And and I tell you, he promised me. He told me that, listen, he would give me the Monday and my program, but I should call in the Thursday to confirm the appointment. Today, Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green have not answered my call or replied to any of my text messages. I don't know what to make of that. But the truth is that I would have loved the finance minister to say, listen, understanding that we have a limited amount, very limited amount of our agri-parks on the cultivation. We are going to be putting some emphasis there because we identify agriculture as one of the growth areas and so on, and identify how they would be putting some more money into agriculture, how they would be helping the farmers, how they will be taking care of more farm roads, etc., etc.
Right.
How they would be bringing in young people into the agriculture cadre and so on. Those are some of the things that would have loved to hear, Colin. How they're going to, the course that they're going to chart to basically reduce the price of energy. All of those things are things that would have loved to hear.
Let me say this right
as
here.
to how we're going to move this economy forward.
Let me say this
rather
right here.
than harping back to 1974 with some.
Let me say this, Conrad.
It really makes sense.
I had Ralston on earlier.
Yeah.
And straight up, the finance minister missed the mark totally. If you ask me to grade the finance minister out of 100, I would give her about 25%.
And again, Colin, why it seems as if the Speaker of the House have a little disdain
for the minister. There is an issue. There is an issue there. What it is, we don't know, but there is an issue.
But the optics don't look good at all.
None at all. Let me tell you something. Even when you listen to Marl and Morgan, they are in disarray. They are in disarray right now. The people of Jamaica has made up their mind that time come for a new direction. If you, this was the last. Hold on. This was the last straw for me, because I am saying if they come with a growth budget, then I guess people might have to look. But when you listen to Faval yesterday, nothing to grow the economy was in the budget yesterday, and therefore I am saying that was the final nail in the GLP coffin, because we know what the Prime Minister is going to come with. We know whole heap of narratives and spin and lies and promises. So
and indeed, the spokesman and finance, Julian Robbins, I heard his promo doing the rounds, and it's going to. I'm very much interested in what he will be saying. Will be saying tomorrow, and I think he has already been confirmed. The party reached out to me already, and he is confirmed as my guest for Monday morning.
Well, I can tell you that I go and beat you because I have him Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. It is confirmed that Julian Robinson will be here 10 o'clock Saturday morning. So no problem, Obi. You still have him on Monday. Monday is the first day you're going to be on. So I guess that's how the cookie crumbles.
Absolutely, Colin. But Colin, it's interesting. The media landscape has broadened.
Yes.
And again, this is a seminal achievement of the PJ Patterson era.
Talk to me. It's PJ open up the media landscape. Why we have so much radio stations in Jamaica. Why we have broadband internet. They stopped the monopoly when we only had cable and wireless. Bring in other companies so we had a competitive environment. Hence, we have the quality internet providers that we have now.
So we can have programs like these on the various
platforms. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Colin, and believe me, what I enumerated in my commentary yesterday when I pay homage, well, both Monday and yesterday, when I pay homage to PJ Patterson, was a tip of the iceberg, because I didn't even mention Emancipation Park, where PJ Patterson was laughed at, and it was dubbed as Penis Park, and
Obi,
Bowl and all sorts of stuff.
I just, a while ago, I invited Raymond Anderson. I don't know if you pick up the name right away. I'm sure you know who Raymond Anderson is. But I don't know if you pick up the name. Raymond Anderson run for president of the JFF last year. What we spoke about was the biggest event and the biggest thing to happen to Jamaica globally in a positive way was Jamaica's qualification for World Cup 98.
In 45 years.
In 45 years.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica went to the World Cup because PJ Patterson, Portia Simpson-Miller bought into the vision of Captain Horace Burrell. And it was a bilateral agreement between Jamaica and Brazil to get Rene Simoes to come to Jamaica to coach football.
PJ played a major role in getting Rene Simoes to Jamaica.
Then we developed the sports development. You remember the sports development fund?
Absolutely.
That was developed at the time.
But it continued to build, Shaka. Even Usain Bolt, and pardon me for saying even, I don't mean any.
You don't mean to slight him.
Yes.
Right.
Usain Bolt, basically, PJ has is handprint all over that, all over Usain as well.
I hear that argument, but I'd love to get deeper into that argument. I'd love to find somebody who knows about the inside of the argument, because I'm hearing it from the other day. And I think I heard it way back then that PJ was instrumental in Usain Bolt coming into Kingston. I'm not sure. I need to get some deeper.
Yes. So we're happy to get more and but one thing, Colin, that we have to admit certainly is that the poise of our athletes who are now homegrown, that credit must be given to the People's National Party indeed the People Republic of Cuba. That help us so much. That is also another thing, Colin, that we must demand some argument from the Jamaican government on this. We have seen where our Caribbean brothers and sisters, they are saying, listen, they are not going to acquiesce and basically throw the Cubans under the bus, so to speak. What about Jamaica? Jamaica is always known for leadership, to provide leadership within the Caribbean.
But Obi, remember that the GLP party is not a party that believes in regionalization. Remember that. It's not a party that believes in the Caribbean as a bloc. The GLP don't do that. It was the GLP that caused us to lose the referendum. And tell you what, just the other day in the parliament, Desmond McKenzie had the audacity to be laughing and say, "Oh, no want referendum." Members say, "Oh, no have luck with referendum."
But poor Desmond, even now Desmond is unable to look on. And because I say it ad nauseum, I say it so frequently that I believe that one of the single worst things that happened to Jamaica and by extension the Caribbean was when we did not federate.
When federation mash up. Yeah, it was the GLP. It was the GLP who caused federation to mash up.
We'd have economy of scale. For example, Guyana, with such huge land space and so on.
There you go.
Could be a massive agriculture base for the Caribbean. Jamaica with tourism.
Guyana struck oil now grow by 40%, the fastest growing economy in the world.
You know, so boy, people tend to accuse us, Colin, but I personally find favor with, you know.
There's somebody in the chat room, Obi. I want to read something out of the chat room for you. Hold on. There's somebody in the chat room saying they're here to know because on a memory intact and on a live experience, them can't buy on out for a box meal and a $5 grand.
Never.
Yeah, man.
And you know, Colin, as I said, today, when you walk in corridors, you're still hearing people saying, "We say PJ," because the people remember the nurses, the teachers, the pastors. Everybody remember that when you walk on a school compound, you see one old Morris Oxford.
Hold on.
Or one Cartina L.
Obi.
And PJ Patterson changed that.
You know how many people build their house, their first house, under PJ Patterson? And I want to say something to the PNP, you know. Jamaicans not necessarily need houses. Jamaicans need land. And that was one of the things that PJ Patterson did. You hear the talk about Operation Pride? No government not do Operation Pride, you know. Operation Pride gave land to people. And when you look at it, people build houses. PJ cut up all heap of areas. And right here in Portland, the Operation Pride have over 440 houses.
Right.
You have the fair real estate where PGA cut up them land through UDC and sell over 200 odd persons in there. Show me right here in Portland where the labor right cut up any land and give anybody to build even a little wackle dab.
You talk about areas like the Pine of Karachi that people acquire those land would not ordinarily be able to achieve it, but PJ cut it and tell it must be given to the people at a particular price that they can afford it.
Little and nothing.
Right? Also with areas such as Melrose, Musing, Mandeville, and so on. Listen, but tell the man them say, listen, Colin, without boasting, but we are walking encyclopedia, we know this thing.
Them better
so
know.
The guy can't twitch with.
Them better know.
The guy can't twitch with these things. And,
Obi, make we run here, sir. Make we chat again.
Blessings, my brother.
All right, one love.
All right.
Conrad O'Brien. I take off Conrad because anybody want to chime in, I want to give you an opportunity. 804-7072. We are on Portland Spice TV. Yeah, man. YouTube with it. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, I'm asking you please to subscribe to this channel. Your subscription is valuable to us. We want you to subscribe. We push out the content and we want to have more people receiving this content.
I just call back.
Yeah.
I just call back Mr. Bell.
Yeah.
I want to give Mr. O'Brien advice. Please take the note to his lawyer, advice note, and to our high-ranking police. Please, my big Mr. O'Brien. Obi, please take the advice note to your lawyer and to high-ranking police.
All right, Sam, like how you call, I get already, may I give somebody else a chance, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Good evening, Colin. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Well, same here, top one. I heard the programs earlier. I was listening to you and the others. But something keeps flicking in my head from yesterday when I heard the budget. Now, normally, our government is put in power to implement policies to benefit the people, right?
Yes.
When the JLP came to power in 2016, they implemented a policy where they changed the stamp duty and transfer taxes lower. They lowered it. Now, if you lower the stamp duty and transfer taxes, who will benefit? Logically, the rich.
The rich,
benefit, right?
Poor people can't sell land.
Right. The next thing they did was they did everything to block the bill that Fitz-Jackson was presenting with bank fees. That was the second thing they did. They did everything to block that.
And that would benefit poor people.
Thank you. The next thing they did was to take off GCT off horses.
Well, that was not much.
Right, but if you look at it, that would benefit.
Well, it still benefit the rich. Yeah.
Thank you. The next thing they did was to remove the GCT of fruits and vegetables. That would create importation.
Yes.
That would again put money in the pockets of the rich. What have they done this time now? They have reduced the amount of revenue that they put up front for their friends in the car industry.
In the new hold on. In the new car industry.
In the new car industry.
That is just saving their friends from paying up a whole heap of money up front. So that not really a benefit nobody poor, and it only give the rich man some more money to have at his disposal. So that is really a bag of wind. That is really a bag of nothing. Benefit maybe about 10 people.
Right. So if you look at the policies that they are implementing, all the policies that they have implemented over the years have benefited the few.
Yeah, man. But that's what this government is about. It's about looking after the rich. And those who are in high class.
Now look on the other side now. The PNP implement JUTC. Who will benefit?
The poor.
They put on the health fund. Who will benefit?
The poor.
They put on the PART program. Who will benefit?
The poor.
You see the disparity between the two governments. The other thing I heard Favor talking about 1974. And the first thing came back to me was what happened in 1974. You remember that the oil prices tripled on the world market?
Yes, there was a big oil crisis.
So
they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that.
Okay, so looking at the budget now, you remember the last time we spoke, we said if you don't realize that you have a problem, you're like going to go to the doctor.
Exactly. Now I'm going to do nothing to try and fix it.
Right, so what we have been saying from last week come to fruition now.
Yeah.
Because no policy
in the
was
budget
implemented how to deal with the problem.
Was announced, not implemented. Not implemented. No policy was announced.
Right.
To fix the problem.
Sorry, right word. No problem. No, nothing was announced because them don't believe them are a problem. So what's the big hurrah about the say this is a great budget and this and that by people around the era? I heard Jan Marlon talking earlier. What he wants to dictate what you must talk about now?
Not me, other people. He want to dictate what the media speaks about. So the travel advisor was a problem and got him upset. And him send that message to Obi. But I could give somebody else a chance, here?
Yeah, man. All right, no problem.
Blessings. Cool. 804-7072. You can call me straight. You can call me on WhatsApp. That's 876-804-7072. Christopher, good afternoon. Hey, beat and teach. Bless up, man. Fitzroy, how you doing, my brother? Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show.
Hi. Good evening, Sir Colin.
Blessings, man.
Let me tell you something straight up. I try not to listen to Nation by George Davis, but because I was listening, I just came in and I was listening to your thing.
Yeah.
I get to hear the last part. My thing to you is this. What will happen to these guys when the PNP win? Because obviously these guys are singing for the supper.
Yeah, and that's why them go hard.
No, here what the problem I have. Nothing is wrong if someone support a party, whichever choice they have, because there's their constitutional right. And
totally agree with that. Yes, I agree.
No, nothing wrong.
Nothing at all.
You just want to reach to the level of disrespect, especially in media. I mean, when persons come up on a political platform and jeer each other or whatever, to me that's different. But when you have a media personality, you have a media house.
You see the bitterness
out.
You realize you saw the bitterness in George Davis when he made those pronouncements. PJ must put on in pajama and go in bed and whatever. You see the bitterness in the guy?
Exactly. Look here, I've seen it on YouTube, but at no time at all I've ever played it, because when it comes to nationwide thing, I don't go through it. Right? This is the first time I'm listening because you played it. If I wouldn't really play that, because I know the visual that they are coming. My thing is that what I'm asking personally now, the persons who is around them, whether they are friends or whatever it is, if you have a friend and you know something wrong, and you can't tell them something wrong, or how would you consider that person to be?
No, I don't want a friend like that. If you can't tell us you're wrong when you're wrong. And if you're right, we say you're right.
I wonder if somebody listen to how George did the sound, and what I see a lot of things happening to these media persons and these persons who say they are analysts. They are losing credibility.
Yeah, man. Only part of them put their credibility out there for hang up and we are lick it off.
And people always tell us, you can have all the money, you can have all the things, but one thing when it comes on to your character.
Yeah, man, you have to maintain that.
Always stay with you.
Yes, man.
This is the only thing that you will have as a legacy. So I want to ask George Davis, what film family do for Jamaica in comparison to what PJ do? Make him sound so it sound like if him see him on the road, and the other day him talk about a man who buck him on the road and talk to him and all of them because something that, but it's worse than the man who talk to him the other day, the way him sound, and this is a prime minister, a former prime minister.
Yeah, disrespect.
Okay,
Total
how can
disrespect.
they sound so disrespect? I'm asking civil society. Let me tell you something. A lot of these guys say them educational and them have the background, but let me tell you something. A lot of these persons will not get certain jobs, certain places. It's certain managers and overseas people see how these people act. They know that, no man, them man are not fit for certain leadership role. They're not fit for certain leadership. Them man have no leadership quality. You know see that?
Yeah, yeah.
No matter what, no matter who you want to support.
It poor,
No
brother.
matter-
And
It
what they are making too many mistakes now. After 9 years, they should be doing better than this. Time come for them to go, my brother.
Here why me know them foolish. Here why me know them foolish. The GLP is doing so wonderful. They are doing great. Everything the hospital are run good. The health service good. Crime is down. The economy are growing. All of these things. So why I blame the messenger?
No,
Why
you see
blame the messenger?
what they must come and say is what we are saying is a lie. That's what they must come and say. But when you can't say where a man say a lie, you can't take on the man argument. Because if you go to TikTok, you see when me take on George Davis argument, you know, and show him the figures, who more people dead under, which prime minister you'd call the murder prime minister if you're going to call a prime minister so. Because that's what he was disrespecting PJ Patterson, but PJ are the murder prime minister. I did the analysis of the figures, and when you look at the figures, you realize that Andrew is the worst when it comes down to murders.
But Andrew have the highest murder rate. Don't him touch 1,600 already?
Yeah, man. PJ did touch
He has
16 to, you know. I think 2000
Yeah,
and 2005.
Yeah, but he has never been lower than under 1,000. He never got under 1,000 yet.
No, man. Andrew never go under 1,000, under 1,100. He never go under 1,100,
Exactly.
you know.
He never go under 1,100.
So when you look at the whole thing, you have to give Peter Bunting credit, because Peter Bunting in 2012 had 1,102, and you wouldn't say Peter then, you'd say Portia, because the prime minister were much. And then 2013 was 1,202. 2014 is the lowest year to date since 2000, I think maybe 2007. 2014, we had 1,005 murders. 1,005. 2012.
And the JP never reached that. And the JP never go nowhere near that.
Yeah, man. I'm going to tell you where Andrew Wellness do. I'm going to give Andrew Wellness number them. 2016, 1,354. 2017, 1,647. 2018, 1,287. 2019, 1,339. 2020, 1,323. 2021, 1,474. 2022, 1,498. 23, 1,393. And 24, at the best him do, 2024. Last year, 1,141.
Okay, and watch this now. So because he might try and mislead the public, these are the people who say them educated now. So you put out and say this man have less murder, but you don't tell them in how much years.
Well, CT, I know, let me tell you. PJ Patterson did 14 years as prime minister, and his total was 13,710. When you divide that by the 14 years, on average, PJ's average is under 1,979 per year. Andrew Wellness for 9 years, 12,456. His average is 1,384 Jamaicans murdered each year under Andrew Wellness.
You know what John Davis sound like? I'm going to tell you what him sound like. He sounds so ignorantly. It's like I'm going to play test cricket. A man play, say, 100 test cricket, and have an average of 55. He have an average of 55. And a man play 10 test cricket. 10 test cricket, and him average of 60. And him tells the man play the 10 test cricket.
Better than the man will play 100. And that's how it go.
Exactly.
No workout.
Him sound like.
No workout.
Him sound, and let me tell you something. When you call him on them program, because I don't listen to them program, and you have somebody, they're so biased. It's like all your show now who taking the GLP and the PMP and make people bring them point. It's when you call it, and notice the people them who call on their shows. They sing from one, but let me tell you something. All of them want to talk now. The people that make up their mind now.
Yes, man.
The people that make up their mind now.
Yes, man.
All you hear them attack, and them afraid now because them know that.
Then you don't realize when Marlon I go try tell him and them say the budget reader, the budget them should have talk about, and them shouldn't talk about the travel advisory. You don't realize a desperation that, brother. That is what you call desperation. That is what you call power drunk.
I blame some of the Jamaican people them now. But let me tell you something. They are wise enough now because let me tell you something. When them really see what are going on, you see this little facade, they try to give a thing and all of them something. Then them days are done with now.
Yeah, man.
You got to take no, but me can tell some days are done with now because them feel it in them pocket now.
More,
and them now bring nothing credible to them offering to the people.
More
Nothing
people understand the economy now, brother.
Boy, me now got to lie still now. If the people them decide to give them money and next term now, dog yam them supper now.
Desmond Mackenzie said he will never surrender Jamaica to the PNP.
No,
what does that mean? What does it mean? I want to say, hold on, I want to say to these labor rights, I want to start fix up on an argument because on our press some argument where we are look on deep. Start fix up on an argument. Caller, call me back next. Yeah. Call me back Saturday morning. Saturday morning we're going to have Julian Robinson. He's going to be talking in the parliament tomorrow. Big up yourself.
Well,
804-7072. We can take one more call before we go. We've been on since 4 o'clock. So we chop up 3 hours today. Yeah. Because, of course, Caribbean Radio, the time has stepped back. So to start at 5 o'clock in the US, we have to start 4 o'clock in Jamaica. Christopher, big up yourself, man. We are sort them out. We are take it to them because the truth shall be revealed. We hear the man from West Portland say, this election is going to be a battle for the truth. No, this election is going to be a battle for correct information because labor right have no lot nor part with the truth. Ed boy, wagwan. Yeah. Ed boy. Talk to me.
I keep telling you about the good talk, right? And how Hitler take in Germany that was trained in misinformation, lies and propaganda. Yeah? That is the role. That is why Marlon has been to the Senate. Yeah?
Yeah.
Has been repeated, spreading lies and
Ed boy. Ed boy.
And
hang up and call me right back because the connection are good. Hang up and call me back right away. See if we get a better connection. So we can hear you clear. Go ahead, brother. Yes, man.
Yeah. That I do speak about.
Ed boy, keep the phone one place, man. You break it, you're going in and going out. Go on now, make us see if we... Yeah.
I have about the Gustavo for a long time. Yes? The Gustavo part of misinformation and propaganda. Yeah? I am now convinced as to why Marlon Marga pointed to the Senate. He was pointed to the Senate because he has peddled the mystery. Rewarded for that. He was rewarded for that. I cannot understand. And the JP, instead of using the budget for the poor people of Jamaica, right? They're having time to talk about who's trying to spread misinformation. I mean, that shows the lackluster performance of them, you know. Because my budget yesterday.
And nobody not talk about it today. Got nothing in it to talk about.
right? It is such a performance by Minister Paul. And what I find quite strange from the budget. There's no record idea for the 4,000 in the
Ed boy, I still not hearing you properly, you know. Your volume keep going up and down. So if you have a headset, take out the headset, take away off a speaker, talk straight into the phone.
You hear me much better, Colin?
Go ahead now.
Right. I am saying I don't understand. Right? These guys use people.
Ed boy, hold on. You're using a headset?
No, but I'm not.
Are we on speaker?
Well, yes.
Take off the speaker. Talk straight into the phone. Go ahead now.
Right. I'm saying I don't understand why these they're not even any sort of to idea relating to the electricity. Yeah, no credit. Right? These guys they take everything and every inverter, even the minis they're talking about the micro exchange. That night of Mark Golden. That was an idea of Mark Golden.
The GPS thing is Damian Crawford thing straight 5 years ago. Damian Crawford tell them the exact thing. Now they jump on it. 5 years later.
It was supposed to be done and also for teachers who were involved in having to teach.
Ed boy, I'm going to run left here because the line no good. I could talk Saturday morning. Saturday morning, I'm going to have...
Okay.
Saturday morning, I'm going to have Julian Robinson, so we talk Saturday morning.
Okay.
All right. See the connection not right with Ed boy. I don't know what it giving trouble this evening, but let me thank everybody for coming on. Let me thank Ralston Iman, Conrad O'Brien, all the people who called, all the people in the chat room. I want to thank you very much. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace, now and forevermore. Until we meet again, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock to 11. Julian Robinson will be joining us. Listen to his speech tomorrow in the Parliament. We are expecting Julian to lay down the plans to grow this island of Jamaica. One love, my people. See you Saturday morning.